What is up, everybody? Collector Joey here. Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing day today, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week. Today, we do have an awesome episode of Cop or Drop for you guys. There has been so much announced this week, or not announced, but shown, revealed, in Sideshow Con and other things. Even InART showed something, and this morning we actually got a tease from Hot Toys, and we never see that kind of on a Saturday. I guess it's Sunday over there, maybe. But anyways, we do have an awesome panel for you guys today. So good old Spacha could not be with us today, but we have still an awesome panel for you guys. So I'm going to introduce them one by one, and we are going to get this show started. I'm glad to see there's some people in here as always. So first off, we are going to introduce, he's usually last and whenever I introduce, but he's going to be first this time. So we have Austin. Austin, what is up?
Good morning to everybody. I'm pretty excited for a Saturday morning style of Copper Drop. So
yeah, I know. Man, this is crazy. 12 people in the morning isn't bad. It says there's 12 people in here. So, hey, that's good. We have a few people I see commenting as well, so that's always good. Next, we do have the next person coming in, always here, and I thank him for always being here. We got Steve, Evil Sneaker. What is
Gentlemen,
up?
Good morning. What's up, guys? Happy to be here as always, dude. Ready for some Saturday morning Hot Toys 1/6 cartoons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to do like a thumbnail that was kind of like, Saturday morning cartoons with your cereal, things like that. And sure. I was like, I don't know how to do that. I was gonna do like a sunrise and stuff, but I was like, we'll just do it like I normally do it.
Yeah.
But
excited, happy to be here.
I know it's awesome to have this in the morning, especially because something actually got teased this morning.
Good timing.
Too, so,
I'm excited to talk about that one too.
Yeah, me too. We'll kind of do that towards the end a little bit, so we have some more people coming in later. But we do have, so this is kind of what I'm thinking with the streams going forward, kind of. So we're gonna start having kind of me, Austin, Steve, and Daniel are the main four that are usually on here, and so we're kind of like the OG set in here. Always going to be here if they can make it. And but we've decided to do kind of like one special guest an episode, or sometimes a special guest will come in here, and it's not going to be all the time, but we have someone here for you guys, and I'm sure y'all seen from the thumbnail who's in here. And we got Shane. What is up, Shane, from 1/6 Figure Focus? How are you doing today?
Good, man, good. Just kind of speaking backstage there, was one of those days, kind of like woke up and I was like, I don't want to leave the house. So with the exception of going and seeing Oppenheimer later on, just did a bit of organizing in the collection room and busy like that way, but had a nice chill morning. Delighted to come on the channel. Obviously great to see meet Steve properly, and always good to see Austin again since we met in London.
Yeah, I remember seeing those pictures of y'all. Weren't y'all on a train with the stormtrooper or something like that? Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, I remember seeing that picture. Yeah. That was funny to me.
Yeah, Rachel, Rachel took that picture. It was a great picture.
That is.
And we were chatting like nothing. It's funny, like I'm pretty sure that conversation we weren't talking about collecting at all.
Yeah.
So the backdrop of stormtroopers there, we were kind of like talking about life and different things like that, and it was really interesting.
That Star Wars life always around.
Yeah,
always around. But yeah, guys, so let's see who's in here this early morning. We got 13 people in here in the morning. Thank you guys so much for being here. As you're coming in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribe to everyone in here. The link is in the description of all their channels. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be awesome. So we do have Insane One that was always saying soon. He's here. Hopefully he's still here. He probably just did that and dipskied and coming back later. We got Daniel. Daniel's out there. Good old Spotchka. How are you? Saying gonna be a great show. Yes, it is. Yes,
he's doing that Saturday morning shift at work right now.
He is, man. But at least he has something to listen to while he's out there. We got Cage. Cage is always here showing the support. Such an awesome guy. Glad he is here. He's saying morning, everyone. Have a great show. Excited to see y'all. Think of Gideon. See what y'all think of Gideon. Yeah. Can't wait for that. Yomo is here as always. He is just an awesome supporter of the channel. We got Reverse Zio. How are you? Actually, this is Austin's friend, and
Yeah, it's my buddy.
Yeah,
Great
me and him have been talking back and forth as well because I love his stuff. His stuff is awesome on Instagram. We got some guy, of course, always in here as well. Let's see. Who else do we got? Myra's in here, my beautiful girlfriend. She's actually right next to me building some Legos. Awesome. Tyria actually made it. How are you, Tyria? Glad to see you here. I think this is one of the first ones you've been to, or you've been to a couple before. For that, then we got Beskar Kid as well. What is up? What is up, man? Waking up to Austin's face. Life is good. Yeah, I know, right?
I swear, this guy, he never sleeps.
I know.
I see these posting at 2 a.m., then 4 a.m.,
really
5
never
a.m.
sleeps.
Beskar Kid doesn't sleep. He squats.
No.
Oh yeah, that's true. Depth Vader. Me and him were talking. There was a shirt that had like Darth Vader, like doing squats or whatever it is, and it was called Depth Vader. And I was like, bro, I could see Beskar Kid wearing that. We got Lancelot, Nerd Corner. Yes, I actually subscribed to him. He has very detailed video, and I know you had him on your thing, Shane, and I really like that one. That one was really good.
Yeah, he's a really easy guy to talk to, and it was around the time I was doing my research on the Big Chief Studios, Tommy and Arthur Shelby, and I watched Dean Knight's video and a few other ones, but yeah, I liked Lancelot's video on Tommy Shelby. It was very it was constructive, like, you know, he highlighted the positives, but he also highlighted the negatives as well. It was a very, very honest review, and I liked that. And at the end of the day, the positives outweighed the negatives for me. And
so, is that a character breakdown or like a figure breakdown?
No, Tommy Shelby. He by Big Chief Studios from Peaky Blinders. The character Cillian Murphy plays. He got him in. He reviewed it, but then he did like he's an interesting way of doing it. He does the the unboxing review, but then like he does I think it's called Off the Cuff, where after having the figure for a while, he just sits down, talks to the screen, and kind of outlines any issues you have with it or how he feels about it. Since it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. His stuff is good. I watched his Joker InART Joker review. Man, that thing was detailed. I'm telling you, I really liked what he was doing over there. That made me subscribe instantly. Looking forward to everyone's craft is what Reverse Zero is saying. Let's see. Anybody? Renz is in here. What is up, Renz? How are you doing? Awesome to see you. I love your artwork, man. You know that already. The talented Renz Talentino. If you haven't checked him out, go on Instagram. Awesome artwork there. But that kind of does it for who is joining. We'll see who else joins later on in the chats. Anyways, guys, let's get to the first thing that we are going to be talking about. And let me add it to the stream right here. So here we go. This is the first thing. I'm going to try to do the different layout here because if I do that, someone's going to be cut off. So we did it last time, kind of like this. Looks better. But I know everybody's talked about it, especially like I know Shane's talked about it and all that. This is kind of just saying like, are you going to, what we do here on Copper Drop is just, if you're going to cop this, like if it came out, I know it might not come out or most likely isn't going to come out, whatever you see here. But it's just saying if it does get announced or released, are you going to cop it or are you dropping it? Just that's kind of the part, like what the show is all about. So first off, you could talk about however much you want to talk about this, however much you don't want to talk about it, of course. But first off, is this a cop or a drop for you guys? I will actually post a poll for all these down in the comment section, or in the I guess it is in the comment section. While I'm doing that, tell me, Austin, is this a cop or drop for you? Why? You just let us know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And everybody, whenever you're filling out the poll, be sure to leave some comments on your reason to cop or to drop this.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, yeah, this is going to be a cop. This is just an icon for Star Wars. So it's a really big piece, though. So for me, this would be something I will actually have to plan something out of how to actually display it properly. Most things I don't do that. Yeah, this will be immediate. Dewback's amazing. This looks fantastic.
Yes.
I like the coloring. The hair's great. The textured like scales of the Dewback, especially on the face.
The face is crazy.
On the legs, yeah, it looks insane. Yeah,
Yes.
so this will be immediate.
Yeah, and I like the mixed media on it. Kind of, I guess that's what they would call it on here, or just on statues. I'm not sure, but the fur on the top, with the actual, the sculpt and everything, I like that a lot. You have that thing behind him. I don't know if that's like a tent or something, or a wrap or or sleeping bag or something, but that looks cool as well. You also have that fur where you can hold on to, like kind of right here. I like that too. That looks really nice.
Yeah, this would just be fun too for content. So imagine just getting this Dewback and just putting any kind of character you want on there, filming like some kind of reels or photos. Not saying that content justifies a buy, but if you're going to buy a figure or a piece and you already make content, you might as well get creative with it.
And are these look suede to me, don't they? Right here, the little bags. I guess
leather, but
leather. Yeah.
You said leather or pleather?
Well, it's going to be pleather. It's going to be
so too. This reminds me of like Chewie's bandolier with like the little bag on it. You know what I mean? Like this is probably going to be pleather.
Yeah,
I guess.
But Steve, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this piece. So this is a cop for me, 100%. I know the big issue with this one is space, but I think if you have the space for this, like for me, this is a no-brainer. I love Dewbacks, one of my favorite creatures. Sand troopers are up there as like being one of my favorite troopers in all of Star Wars, probably top 3. Having like A New Hope sand trooper already, this is, a bonus of this piece. I mean, I think this stands alone would just be an awesome standalone piece, but the bonus is this could also be like a Tatooine centerpiece. Like I'm thinking you have A New Hope sand trooper. I'd be putting probably like a Tusken Raider around this potentially. Like there are some very cool things that you can do with this as far as like creating that like kind of scenic, like diorama, so to speak, type display. So I really like the way this looks. I think this one's coming. Like I think this one has a very high chance of coming. Sideshow did a 1/6 Dewback. I don't see why Hot Toys wouldn't do one. They've also done a blurg, which is a large piece. Like if they can do the blurg, they can definitely do this. One other thing I'll say about this is I really like, if this is articulated, they did a really nice job like hiding the joints of the articulation. Like you can see in that back leg, like where it kind of like curves down. Hopefully I would think it's probably going to have some articulation, but be interesting to see. But I think same with the strap on the neck, like it almost looks like the head might be articulated and that strap just kind of like overhangs where the articulation point is potentially. I think that'd be very smart. But yeah, with that being said, I'm really hope this one comes, but I can see why, like if you're limited on space and you're pretty selective, that you wouldn't get this, because this is going to be definitely a large piece.
This has to be at least like 2 feet long, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be big.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be a big piece. You look at that, like that sand trooper with our, like, I think of how big you think of a 12-inch. Yeah, you think of a 12-inch figure, 6-scale figure. Like this trooper looks kind of small on top of this if you look at the size comparison. So this is gonna be a big piece. But yeah, definitely, like I would be picking this one up for sure. Yeah,
and like with I wouldn't understand why they wouldn't, because I was on Brother Cousins. I got to hear everybody's there was a lot more people on there and everybody wanted this one. So it's like out of everything at the con, this one probably was the most wanted. So I don't see why. You don't think so?
No, I mean, just not for me. Like
this is my favorite one.
Yeah, this is an exciting piece, and I know this will satisfy the masses, or scratch that itch of the masses. No, for me it was the Predator.
Oh yeah, well we didn't even get to see that though.
Yeah.
Well, that's a much smaller niche.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But Shane, is this a cop or a drop if this comes out for you?
It's an easy drop. I don't think they're going to do it. I think this is destined for purgatory, like a lot of the things that Sideshow have shown at their con. Again, when I say things like that, it's just my personal opinion, and I want to be wrong. I genuinely want to be wrong, because the likes of Beskar Kid out there and whoever else would this be a day one for. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want, just because I think it's not going to come out doesn't mean doesn't really make a difference. But it's just with the history of them with these cons, they show these things, and a lot of the time the more kind of unique looking pieces like this, or like the Batman 1989, or the the kind of I suppose the that trooper from A New Hope with the console. A lot of these things just go into purgatory, unfortunately, like the N1. But I hope I'm wrong. Hope it comes out. But if it does get released, no, it won't be for me, because something of this size. When I was a kid, I was never really a kid about dinosaurs and stuff like that. I'd always gravitate towards a vehicle. I'd prefer a Batmobile or an X-wing, or a TIE fighter, a fighter jet or something like that. I just always loved vehicles. So for me, something this big, I've got to reserve the little space they have for vehicles. So if I had a choice between a Batpod and Batman or this and a Dewback or Trooper, I'm always gonna go towards the vehicle. Just my own personal preference. But no, I hope it comes out. Like it looks great. Like I'm not gonna it looks. I think the Dewback looks a lot better than the Trooper. The Trooper looks a little awkward on it, I think.
He does. He looks like he's about to fall off.
Yeah. But then again, if you were riding Dewback, you'd look like you're going to fall off too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Dewback, bareback.
They could have done a better display with the Trooper for sure.
Yeah. This Dewback looks a lot better than that Lizard that came out during the week.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I already got my shipping notice on that Lizard. That's crazy.
Ooh. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better in hand.
Yeah, maybe I'll do probably a review or something on it. But yeah, I'm with you, Shane. Like I was on Steve's stream whenever these first came out, and everything. I was like, nope, this isn't coming out. Nope, this isn't coming out.
Graveyard.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, a lot of these aren't going to come out, but I mean, if they did, we're kind of just saying if they did. But we'll go to the next one already. Let's see who else has gotten to the chats. I know that I saw Peyton coming in here. What is up, Peyton? How are you doing?
Don't forget the poll either.
Oh yeah, the poll. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Thank you for reminding me. If I forget, let me know. Okay, so we ended the poll there. Now we do for the Sand Trooper and the Dewback for Copper Drop. We have 66% of the people saying cop and 33% of the people saying drop. So that's out of 15 votes. So we do have a pretty good sample size there to go off of. But that's looking like at least 2/3 of the people are saying that they would actually cop that. So that is cool. Hot Toys, I know you're probably not watching, but hey, there's kind of your answer a little bit.
You don't think Howard Chan's watching you?
I know, right?
I think.
Yeah, so Peyton is in here. What is up? Let's see. Who else do I see in here? Ariel's in here. How are you? Let's see. Anybody else? Just going through. Shane's out there as well. But yeah, everybody's just mainly saying good morning and talking amongst themselves, which is awesome. I love seeing, people talking in the chats. That's why I like doing these polls, because I really love getting the chat involved. I just love that a lot.
Yeah, so Beskar Kid says the Dewback would be about 30 inches long.
Oh, okay.
Let me
see.
So
I'm trying to see.
Massive.
I'm trying to see where.
And that's just length. That's not having to figure out like the depth of it or the height.
A big case, or just display it outside of a case.
I feel like for most people, this can be an outside of a case.
Yeah.
Kind of piece, prop. Figure.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. He said 30 inches. Wow.
Blurg's 24. I didn't even realize the blurg was that long. And that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think the blurg was that long either.
That's crazy. Because I'm new to this, so if I skip by y'all's comments, I'm sorry. I'm it's
Yeah, you have us. All good.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm keeping an eye too.
Yeah. But let's get to the next one, guys. Kind of the same thing. Let's see if I can actually do this. There we go. All right, so we got Loki on the Throne, which is next. Now we're not gonna go through everything at the con. I picked just a couple things, mainly the highlights that we saw for the Copper Drop. So you guys, this is the Loki on the Throne. It looks amazing. It really does. For me, this might be a cop for me. I'm not sure, but that throne, I know y'all say Boba on the Throne looks great, and I can't imagine this one with all the detail it has in it. If it comes out, this would be a cop for me. But Austin, actually, I'm going to do a poll as well again. So if you guys want to vote again and just let us know what you think, that helps us a lot. But Austin, what do you think about the Loki on the Throne? Are you copping it, dropping it?
Yeah, this is one where I'm leaning definitely towards a cop. I'm a sucker for a throne, and it's funny saying that because I don't have a figure on a throne, but I really want one. And Loki's a great enough character that I want him in my collection.
Yeah,
I have a couple of them. I don't have this iteration of him. The figure itself looks amazing outside of just the display aspect of the throne. Also, I'm already having like this idea, and I said it on Steve's channel, of taking all these little other accessories from other figures, like Captain America's shield, and laying it down on the throne, and Mjolnir from Thor, laying it on the throne, all these other little pieces from the Avengers and Marvel characters, and kind of scattered around. So if it does come out, I am most likely going to cop this.
Yeah, and we already have 100% on drop on the polls, but yeah, guys. So
this
Steve,
is a popular character too.
It is.
You know, the crazy thing is, Loki's such a popular character, but we've had
so many,
like 10 of them.
Yeah,
it's pretty great though, seeing a beloved character like this get so many iterations, but have pretty continuous backing of it. I know Iron Man. There's so many Iron Men, but also it seems like not all of them sells extremely well. And it seems like Loki has.
Yeah, but Iron Man, you can make him kind of look different. You can kind of make him, you know, I mean, the suits are already different. Some of them, I know some people can't tell, but you can have him unmasked. You can have him masked. You can have him, you know, flying, not flying. With Loki, it's kind of like the pose with the staff and that's kind of it, or sitting, I guess you could say. He's not really flying or anything like that. But yeah, I see what you mean though. Steve, what are you copping or dropping this? I know you're mainly Star Wars and all that, but
I feel like, you know, if it's a piece enough I like Marvel or DC or something, I would probably pick it up. It's got to be really good though. But for me, this is a drop. I do love the throne though, like what Austin said. Thrones are very underrated. Like I'm surprised like that Boba throne is still sitting, like we kind of talked about in the past. That thing is just maybe people don't realize like how cool that thing is, and it's big. Like it takes up a whole entire like area of your DTOF. It takes up a whole entire shelf. It's pretty big, but it is really detailed. Looks really good. I would feel like this throne would be probably similar in that aspect. Like given the size of what this looks like comparing it to Boba with the throne, it looks pretty comparable. Maybe this one's a little bit bigger. The one thing I'll say about this is I think that for this picture, to me, it seems like a lazy move because they took the Endgame body and put on a President Loki head sculpt. I feel like if this was to come out, like you should, like me personally, if I was really into this, I would probably want like a Thor 1 or Thor 2 Loki that actually sits on the throne to make it a little bit more accurate. That would be my take for this one. Like it seems like, I don't know, you guys may know a little bit more than me as far as, but I'm pretty sure like that's what they did with this figure is Endgame body, President Loki head sculpt. So that seems to me like if they were to release something like that and just kind of use that, to me is a little bit lazy. So if I was to pick this up, I'd want a more accurate representation of when in the films when Loki is actually on the throne. And I'm pretty sure that's like Thor 1, which is a totally different outfit. I think Thor 2 maybe as well. I know it's not this outfit. I'm pretty sure. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but with that being said, I think like if they need to beef up the accuracy for you know to consider this one, at least for me if I was considering it. So, but for me, it's a drop.
Yeah, this one, especially with the Boba throne, this one looks a lot taller with the space at least. So we're talking about this one looks a lot taller.
It's taller for sure.
Yeah, I thought taller, and then
because you can sit Boba on the throne with his feet basically like on the DTOF glass. So like it's pretty close. So this is definitely elevated and taller. Like you're not displaying it with the staff like this inside of a DTOF. It's gonna hit the glass at the top. Just sitting like this.
His head would, or would the staff hit? I know the staff would hit it. Yeah.
No, I think he would fit, but the staff would definitely. I feel like
you'd probably have to have it like kind of like to the side a little bit,
and then like it probably would go all the way across. It probably would go all the way across the glass. I don't know if it would fit all the way across the glass either. It'd be close.
Or you could have it like laying really against. Close. You can have it like laying against the throne as well, kind of like next to
like
him.
Austin said, I think thrones are really nice because you can take accessories and put them in different areas of the throne. Like I have Boba's jetpack just sitting next to it. I have his blaster, like his pistol kind of sitting on a ledge, like his blaster, and then his other his other blaster, I think just like angled down on one part of the chair or something like that. So you can like get creative with accessories, which I think is a bonus of having a throne for sure.
Yeah, and if you have like Fennec Shan, you could have like the spatchka bottle like laid out or something. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like when they do that. But Shane, are you copping or dropping this? I know you like Loki, don't you?
Yeah, I like Loki.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like a diehard fan of Loki,
Okay.
but I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it, like how many Marvel villains get more than one movie? I
Yeah.
mean, Yellow Jacket gone, Ironmonger gone. You know, like there's a lot of Marvel villains who kind of come in for one movie and they just get defeated. Killmonger, one of my favorite villains in the
Yeah.
MCU, like just portrayed very well, really good character, gone. Whereas like okay, Thanos got 2 movies and then was in a post-credit scene for another, like, but he's just such a formidable villain. It's like I could justify getting him, like, and I just prefer Thanos. He is the villain so far in the MCU. But Loki, Loki's got a lot of a lot of movies under his belt. He's got a character development as well. I have the Endgame 2012 one. I actually really like the figure. Looks great with the crown on, but not so much with the crown off. So yeah, there's no chance I'm going to pick up another Loki of any description, whether it's classic, TVA, Sylvie. I kind of have the one that I think of. If I want to compose it next to my Mark 6 for an Avengers display, or pose it next to something else, like so. Yeah, cool. Like this is the same figure, just with the President Loki head sculpt on it. If I had to pick a head sculpt, I think the TVA Loki is the stronger one as well. Just on the accessories thing, though, just one of the reasons I gravitated towards the Endgame version was I actually really liked the prototype images of him holding the Tesseract with the handcuffs and the kind of mouth guard on to shut him up. I thought that was a really, really cool display, but of course, when it came out and the head sculpt was a bit lackluster and he had that flat hair, it was I posed him up like that and it was like something was amiss. But just going back to what Steve was saying there, you could pose him like this, and then you could have the Tesseract in his right arm, and then you could have the mouth guard and the handcuffs just like on different steps of the throne as well, like as in I'm free now, so come out.
That'd be cool.
But, that'd be cool. Endless opportunities, options with the throne.
I also don't think this is going to be released. So
yeah, me either.
I think like it'd also be nice, like I don't know, it'd be nice if they just came out with the throne. I know like Hot Toys doesn't really do that, but like it'd be nice if they just came out with the throne.
Yeah,
they did the Wakanda Forever throne, I think.
Oh yeah.
And can you get the Boba throne on its own?
No, I don't think so. But you can also get the figure like relatively cheap. I think you typically typically see Boba with the throne going for I think like around 300. I think he retailed for $4 like USD, but yeah, you can still get him relatively cheap, or I guess for a lesser price, I should say. It's still pretty pricey.
Okay. I had the music up a little bit high, guys. I hope nobody said anything about it, but we did end the poll with 16 votes. That's a pretty good number. We have, let's see, let me end it. It usually tells me. There we go. So Loki on the throne for Copper Drop. 87% of people are saying drop. 12% of people are saying cop. So that kind of shows where this is at. And yeah, if they were even thinking about making it, I don't think they really will with the amount of people that it's looking like won't get it. But let's go through, see some people that popped up in the chat. I saw Nick Collectibles. How are you doing? He said, "Sup, guys? Can't stay. I'm at work, but I just wanted to say I want the Antalians." Yeah. The life size one. I don't think I have that one up on here, but I know a lot of people really did want that. And that's we got Daniel in here saying, I think the pre-order will sell out when the show comes back around. I don't know. There's been, sorry, my camera's in the way. There's been like 3 or 4 already, 3 or 4 a year already. Yeah. If they did want to actually release this, I feel like it would be around when season 2 comes out. I feel like that, especially if the throne is in the show, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking this sells out immediately or quickly, just because there's been so many. Loki's do sell well, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know how long it will take for this one to actually sell out, if it does.
Yeah. But let's go to the next one, guys. This is going to be the best one at the con, I will say. We do have, let me take this off. We do have MODOK here, guys. Now, I know Myra's over here laughing because she thinks it's the silliest thing ever. But this one is crazy, guys. This is out of left field. We weren't even thinking about this guy. And that's crazy that nobody was really thinking about this guy, but yet the head sculpt is on point. And I can't imagine having to change the faceplate to this let's see, from this to this. So I think that taking that head sculpt out would be kind of funny. Like the faceplate would be really funny to do. But we're gonna start backwards now. We're gonna go from Shane. Shane, I know if this was something that actually came out, are you going to cop this or even think about copying it?
Joey, I feel like you're asking me these questions knowing exactly what I'm going to say. Like, now this movie wasn't good and this character wasn't good. I thought it was a bit of an abomination, to be honest. It was. I remember when he appeared, and some of the lines he had, and some of the development or whatever you want to call it. Like I remember sitting here going, I paid €14 for this. You know, I was sitting in the cinema. The cinema is not cheap. Like, you know, it's kind of very. I suppose he contributed to the mediocrity of the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the character as it appears in the comic, but I'm pretty sure that this is not a good representation of the character.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, they've nailed that head sculpt.
They did.
Like it is the creepiest looking thing that I've seen from Hot Toys in a long time. And it's funny, like I'm a sucker for like. You take like the War Machine Mark 1 or the War Machine Mark 4, the real chunky ones with all the, you know, different type of guns and stuff that just pop out and stuff like that. I'm a sucker for that, but I feel that this almost parodies that, you know what I mean? So this thing's huge.
It is.
It was teased in the Kang images, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So, like, look, maybe there's some diehard Ant-Man fans out there who love the movie and they're like fingers crossed that this comes out, but I think this is 3 for 3 now. We're destined for purgatory.
Yep.
It begs the question, why did Sideshow do what they did?
Mm-hmm.
What's the advantage of them? Like if the Dewback is coming out and the MODOK is coming out and that A New Hope Trooper with the console is coming out, a lot of people are going to be very happy. But I can see why then they'd be like, you know, let's save some money. We don't go to SDCC. We don't have to pay the rental for the space they have and all that. We can do it from our own studio. We can advertise all these products, save a lot of overheads. That makes perfect sense if they come out. But if they don't, I'm really wondering why. Like, because
I feel like they just trolled the whole con with this.
This is, but you know what though? Hot Toys, they've done a great job on it. That headset is creepy good. I don't want this in my home though.
No,
that's what I was saying too.
No.
Imagine waking up and just seeing his face.
I would advise as well if you're a single man and you know you're on the dating scene.
Oh man.
And like, you know, I think it's very important that if you are a collector, the person you're seeing or dating kind of appreciates that and accepts that, you know, this person's into pop culture, they're into movies, they're into TV, they're into collect. That's what floats their boat, whether they're into it or not. I think it's very important that they accept that. But if you're in the dating scene, you're bringing a girl back, I would hide this one.
Yeah.
I would hide this one. If your collection's in your bedroom, which I've seen so many people have,
that's me.
That makes it even more of a challenge.
Yeah, it does. But good thing, like my girlfriend, we kind of developed into this with each other, kind of, because when we first started dating, I think I just was collecting Funko Pops, and but like we kind of both, I know, right? You did too. We both gradually kind of got into it, and it wasn't too hard to get into that together. But yeah, we also, I do have a poll for this guy down in the, I guess, comment section that you can vote whether cop or drop. Just let us know. 22 people in here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and subscribe to everyone on the panel. They are awesome for coming very early in the morning. For Shane, it's not too early, but yeah. Let's see. Steve, is this a cop or a drop for you?
I agree with everything that Shane said. Yeah. Full on drop. It's very interesting that they chose to put something like this out, considering like the reception for the movie. I don't know a whole lot of people who really like this character. I thought, like, when I was watching the movie, like I said, I am not really picky and into like really critiquing movies hard or like really like saying like, oh, I hate movies, that movie was trash. But yes. I did not finish this movie, and that for me is like a rarity. I usually will finish a movie, but this one I just didn't. I still have probably an hour left this movie. And I saw his character, and it was like, then they showed like didn't they show like a little flashback with Yellow Jacket and how like he basically became, like, I thought Yellow Jacket was a cool villain kind of initially. They should have just left that alone. I think that's first and foremost. They could have left that alone and not brought that into this. This is just a really weird decision of like, you're going to showcase something on this massive of a scale. I think do it for something that had a better reception and something that's more popular. Like it's a very odd decision to showcase something. You put all this work and effort into something like this that really didn't get great reception, and a character that I feel like for the most part that I've heard people don't really like. So it's interesting. Then I look at like, how much would this thing cost? Like look at a Hulkbuster and how big that is. This thing is probably bigger than that, right? Like it's massive. So. This thing would be so expensive. Like this is, there's no way this is coming. And again,
it's more wide though. That's the thing that sucks.
It's just so massive. And then like the head, that's the crazy thing we're all talking about. This is like a bang on head sculpt. The head sculpt is fantastic, but it's like, man, why put in all this effort? Like I don't see any. I would like to hear from somebody who says like, I really would want this piece to come out, and I would like to hear. So if anybody in the chat really would like this and they really would want this to come out, I'd be curious to see why, like what really is drawing you to this figure or this character.
Sorry to cut
No,
across.
go ahead.
I think Blitz 0065 Keith, who we met in London, he was in the stream yesterday, and I'm pretty sure he wants this.
Hey, fair enough.
I think it's rooted collecting, as in myself and Austin are similar in the sense that his collecting is rooted in his love of movies and TV. Notice I'm making a conscious decision not to say film that much because I can't say it properly. But like, I think maybe Keith's collecting is rooted in his love of comic books, possibly.
I know Local Lou wanted this one as well. He said the reason he wanted this one is because he's outgoing and crazy himself. So he's like, why?
He wants it for like a novelty sake.
Yeah, like it kind of represents like who he is, basically, like something wacky like that. So that's what he said.
I think that's fair. Like I could see why people would be drawn in different ways as far as like relating to the character and stuff like that. Sure. I think that's totally fair. And I would never say like, oh yeah, like, everybody has is going to have their opinion on this. And like, I could see people being like, this is such an out there piece that like, it would be cool to have. I could see that justification of like, if you had this in your collection, this would be a very like just crazy piece to have. I think I joked last time. Yeah. Like somebody came down into my basement and looked at this. This is like an amazing conversation starter. Like what in the world is people don't know about the show or don't know about the character? Like what in the world is that? Like, I feel like that would be like a good conversation starter piece, but
could be a conversation finisher too.
Bingo. You'd be like, all right, I'm going back upstairs.
Right. I gotta be somewhere and that's not here.
I gotta get out of here. But yeah, it's like, and it's just like, to me, having like the face sculpt on there, like the helmet actually, like this looks pretty cool.
That looks cool. Yeah.
Like if this was a character, like, and it was a whole different movie and like it was a really well received movie and the character was awesome and he was like a really main character that people really, really liked, I would say like this is a cool design to me with like the like the face shield on.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like having that face sculpt displayed, like this is just creep. Like my mind is kind of creepy. But
you would think that they didn't even like make the face sculpt. You would think they would just have went with this, know.
But that face sculpt is crazy. It's like, man, if this type of effort was put into some of the face, like or I guess this level of detail, maybe it's because it's bigger too. It's like easier to make it look really good. That's probably part of it.
To be fair, this is a much bigger canvas.
Yeah. So a lot easier to get really good detail in.
Accuracy on. Yeah.
Sure.
Painting with those little fine little paintbrushes.
But even with that, this is like 10 out of 10.
It looks so good. It's like perfect.
It's so weird saying too how like this is a perfect sculpt on such a divisive character. At least
guys.
A somewhat silly character.
Yeah, and I think too, like that kind of as a showcase piece to show what Hot Toys can do, like talent wise, and just like making something look good. I think that's that's like, wow, they are talented in creating something like this. But with that being said, I'll stop rambling on about this one now. But this would be
good.
It's a very polarizing piece. I feel like it's very like it's a really fun one to talk about. But just there's no way I would ever pick this one up.
And
it's not coming. There's no way this one. This to me, and I'm like pretty optimistic about some of the other ones I think are going to be made, but this one, I just no way.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Austin, you
I won't be able to say anything new. I don't think this we made, but like for practicality reasons, this is extremely large. This is a really big piece.
The most important space too is your horizontal space, not your vertical.
But also like think about how tall this is be either, and then even just like across, like and then with this being such a big piece, it's going to require like a big box, right?
Huge.
So that goes into shipping, but then not even just that. The potential of this performing extremely poorly in Sideshow sitting on inventory is really high. Like, that's been a problem in most companies for the past couple of years, right? Are there inventory levels in the space and warehouses? With this being such a large piece, in the possibility of it sitting, it's going to take up a lot of room. I just don't see it, from practicality sakes, actually happening with such a divisive character who, for the most part, isn't liked, at least via MCU.
I thought he was funny. Y'all didn't think so, though.
I thought it was the worst character.
I did not like the humor. I was not into the humor, and I know people are into different types of humor, but this level of humor was just not for me. For a movie that like this, that was supposed to have Kang being like having such large implications for the MCU, like what they brought in, just the stuff that they chose to bring into this for that overall arc of the the direction the MCU is heading with a main villain, just didn't really work for me.
You know what it was
Steve,
like?
You nailed that for me.
You know what the humor was like? So when I heard some of the silly humor from this guy in this particular movie, and some of the MCU movies in the last few years, I thought back to like the first 2008 Iron Man movie, and I was like, they seem like different universes, And I remember when I watched, I think it was either the third or maybe the fourth Terminator movie. I think it was the third. At one point in time, Arnie says, "Talk to the hand," and I was just out. There are two Terminator movies. There's like, that wouldn't happen. Just, that's not even the same universe as the first Terminator movie, and that's what kind of like this reminds me of. It's like they're not even trying.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's like I feel like they just saved by not going to Hot Toys. They're not going to SDCC, right? That's what y'all said. They saved and they just wanted to troll everybody, and they used that money they saved to troll everybody. So
yeah, I think like Shane said too about like kind of going back to like Iron Man versus comparison to this, it seems like with this new phase of the MCU overall, like Thor: Love and Thunder is another one where I feel like the tone of the movie, like along with, it's just very like the tone that they're the like non-serious tone, or like the type of stuff they're adding into movies now versus when Iron Man came out, years ago, is just like, there's a huge difference in like, I guess the type of stuff they're putting into these movies, which is kind
particularly for the Love and Thunder. I mean, in that movie, like Jane Foster, she had cancer, and then if there's any sort of a somber moment, it was usually broken up by some cheap gag. Which is
And then what was it? Was it like Zeus? Wasn't it Zeus in that movie? Was it Russell Crowe?
Yeah,
Zeus, who's supposed to be Zeus, who's supposed to be like an all-powerful being, got like turned into that, and then it just wasn't. Yeah, it's just like that type of stuff for me.
I buried that memory so deep.
Yeah, I saw this and I remember I was watching with my wife, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, Shane, what are we watching right now?
Shane, you explained Love and Thunder extremely well, because like one of the reasons why, out of many, that I really loved Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is whenever there was a serious moment or a sad moment, we were allowed to like linger in that moment to actually feel things. And then Love and Thunder, any serious moment, immediately interrupted with like a fart joke, and it just kills it.
Yeah, and with the goats, I laughed the first time. The first time it was funny. It was funny the first time, of course, and then maybe a little bit the second time, but they took it like way too far with the goats. They I didn't like that.
But you know what? As to bring it around on kind of a maybe more on a more positive note, I think myself and Austin are similar in the sense that like it is completely okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Austin, but it's completely okay to say I didn't like that movie because of this reason, this reason, this reason. That's not being toxic. That's not being negative. That's just saying it wasn't a particularly good movie. There's pros and cons. This is what I didn't like. But you don't have to go attacking the director or the actors or anything like that. That's just nonsense.
I think that's crazy.
I feel like objective criticism is always needed with every single thing. And there's even times where, like, let's take a movie called Hereditary. It's a horror movie, right?
Seen it, yeah.
I don't like the movie, but the thing is, like, objectively, it's an amazing movie. Like, I can't really tear it apart. Well acted. the lighting's in it. It's fantastic. Everything is amazing in it. It's just too slow and there's no payoff for me. But like that's my particular like taste. So it's hard. So I don't necessarily like the movie, but I know objectively it's extremely well done.
So you're able to separate your heart from your head then, which I think is a strength in a human.
It's important.
Yeah. I mean, I teach science for a living. It's important to me to separate my heart from my head. Scientists often get data which doesn't agree with their hypothesis, and a good scientist will go, okay, I was wrong, let's make a new hypothesis and test it. You know what I mean? You separate your what you want it to be from what it actually is. And I think like what you're doing there is you're separating your objective opinion on that movie, saying, you know, it's good for production or acting or casted or, you know, whatever, cinematography, but yet it's not for you subjectively. I think that sometimes, like, I won't call anyone out or anything, but I made a video or a live stream the other day, and I mentioned that Tom Holland was my Spider-Man. And often you say that it's a pretty emotive thing because, you know, you have the Andrew loyalists and more often than not you've got the Toby loyalists, and I completely get that, whereas I grew up with both of those versions of movies, and I just felt they never got it right in Tom Holland. But yet someone commented on the video and they were like... it was like something very. It was like the Tobey Maguire movies are the best, and that's it. And I just commented back. I just kind of went, you know, okay. And I couldn't help myself. I was just like, in your opinion, it's a fair statement.
True.
And then I got back, no, it's a fact. And typed in, well, subjectively, you know, and then it just kind of eventually we came to a. You just don't like what I like, and I don't like what you like, and that's okay. But you don't know, you don't have to go straight for the. It doesn't have to be an emotional conversation. Like if Austin says, you know what, Shane, The Dark Knight is the worst film I've ever seen in my life. Heath Ledger's performance was abysmal, and Christian Bale is the worst Bruce Wayne I've ever seen. I'd be like, all right, cool, you know, because it's like that's your opinion.
Yeah. No, when you're talking about Dark Knight, those are fighting words with Dark Knight.
How would you react to that?
Yeah, those are fighting words with Dark Knight.
I think Austin would be blocked and I'd never talk to him again. But that's his opinion.
I think too, like for me, when it comes to that, like I think you just better be ready to back up what you say if you're going to make a comment like that. Like I would like if you feel that way, let's have a conversation about why you feel that way, and at least like both you guys, I agree as far as like. We were talking about Supergirl because I know a lot of people had a negative reaction to that of just like, okay, well, let's objectively look at what's good about this figure and not good. But I would never like go as far as like trashing an actor or an actress or like it's just
that stuff blows my mind.
It's crazy that crazy, some actors get
the loud minority.
It's crazy that some actors actually get like death threats from that stuff. That is absolutely insane. I don't know how that happens.
But I think
how often are those death threats? Like, let's be honest now. Okay, we hear death threat and that's terrible in any context. Yeah, and maybe there's a tiny proportion out there of people who are mentally unstable or for whatever reason, and they have access to guns and they're potentially dangerous people. That's a tiny percent, hopefully. But a lot of the time, I think these people who write stuff online, you know, behind these anonymous,
keyboard warriors, baby.
Keyboard warriors. I think a lot of the time they're just kids and they make silly mistakes and they're teenagers and they're not really thinking about the consequences because that's what teenagers do. And that's kind of a, you know, I wouldn't have done when I was a teenager, but then again, I probably did some stupid shit when I was a teenager, so I'm sure I did. But like, that's kind of like part of the process as well. So, but it's not cool for the people who do the head sculpts or direct the movies or the actors. Or you're absolutely right. Like,
just know there's just the toxicity is just not for me.
Guys, so we're finishing off with MODOK. We actually got 20 votes on this one. That's
MODOK brings up look at the conversation. Look at the great conversation we just had revolving around stemming from this piece. You know what I mean?
We got MODOK saying drop is 89% and cop is 10%. So
please tell me who the 10% is.
I know I can't see. So someone's gonna have to come up.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of the comments about MODOK. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Where did we start off at? MODOK looks scary good. Brian, how are you doing? Glad to see you here as well. We got Mark Attack saying hello there. Hello, how are you? Glad to see you here. I was there when you won that freaking thing. What was it?
Yeah, one of the Sideshow.
The Clone Wars figure. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But I heard that you said that they couldn't.
He said he sent it to Riley.
Yeah, he sent it to Riley, which was really nice of you, man. That's awesome. But he said he bought Dooku yesterday. Rip his wallet. Yeah, big time.
Figure.
Daniel saying congrats. MODOK is a tease of the year. In my opinion, not an MCU fan, but this is awesome.
So objectively, like he's not really an MCU fan, but looking at this, like it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's a part of the 10% probably. Jump scare every morning. Yeah. Jump scare every morning. I got Myra laughing at that one over here. We got Frogman. I love the name. If this MODOK gets announced as pre-order, I'm moving to Ireland. Yeah. Peyton is in here too. I would get the Fallen Avenger. Yeah. The conversation goes, what the fuck is this thing? That's how the conversation is.
Yeah, if like somebody didn't know what this was, be like, what in the hell?
Yeah. You got Mike Latoris in here. How are you doing? How are you? I'm glad to see you here. Let's see. Iron Man 2008 felt like them early 2000 Marvel movies. Current MCU feels like a blend of a bunch of CGI and cameos. Yeah, it kind of does feel like that at some points in it. We got Lady Evil Sneaker in here as well. Glad to see you.
You fell asleep. Yeah, she's really high on Ant-Man the movies, and I was like, I fell asleep halfway through. She finished it, and the next day I was talking to her about it, like, what'd you think? And she was like, it was like just okay. And like for her to say that, it's like, so like she likes movies like Morbius was another one she saw, and she was like, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, Myra liked that one too.
So she likes those. Like she's like pretty easygoing as far as liking movies, and she thought that Ant-Man was like just okay. So for me, like I would say that's kind of saying something about the movie, but but yeah.
Mark Attack saying, I thought my wallet was safe, but Moth happened. Yeah, that was a cool thing to wake up to. Daniel saying, so why don't people do that when they I don't know what he's saying.
Probably talking about just us like objectively breaking down
figures.
Yeah. I try to do that when I talk about figures.
Yeah.
You know. I feel like we all do in that way.
That guy Mark, how are you doing? Can't lie, I wouldn't buy MODOK, but it does look good. Yeah, it does. Reverse Zeo saying MODOK could be in the Conjuring universe. Mike Latoris also saying, I'll never understand why people take offense to someone liking something that they don't. We should be able to have a laugh at an unpopular opinion thing and things.
I actually enjoy those conversations.
Yeah, they're fun.
Like, if I really like a movie, like a horror movie or anything else, and someone doesn't, I think it's more fun if they're if they're actually able to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Of why they didn't like it, so we can kind of like bounce these, what I like, what you didn't like. I don't know. That's a lot more fun than both of us agreeing on absolutely everything, which is fun at times, you know?
I think the problem stems more for when someone really likes one particular thing and you don't like it and you're like, that's not for me. I think that is more, depends on the person, obviously, incendiary. It's like when, like, I'm not a religious person. I know we don't want to go off on a tangent here, but I'm agnostic, I'm an atheist, I'm just not a religious person. But I've had people in the past who were very religious, and then they'd say to me, like, you know, why don't you believe in God? And then I explain it to them, and they find it really difficult to accept it when I'm not trying to start an argument. You know, you asked in the first place. You know what I mean? I suppose when someone's kind of really passionate about something, I maybe they cause offense, whatever, something like that. But it's like when someone's hell bent on something, you say, I don't like that. I think that's where the
everything shuts off
for some people.
Yeah, everything shuts off in their brain, and it's just one thing. But we'll go to the next one, guys. I know I'm trying not to make this a crazy long stream, but it might be. If you gotta go, you gotta go. I understand. But next one, we could just say our thoughts, our copper drop on this one. I'm going to do a poll in the chat as well for this one. Let me hear what you have to say about this, Steve.
Drop for me. I don't really have much to say about this figure. This is like a comic book version, correct? So not something that's for me. I wouldn't really. There's a lot of other figures that I would prioritize above this one. So yeah, I don't really know enough about this, I feel like, to really comment on it, but I would say drop for me. I think the head sculpt looks, I feel like this is a good iteration of a comic book head sculpt. I know we always talk about like bridging the gap between like a comic book and realism. I I think it looks fine, but yeah, I don't know enough about this character in the comics to really talk about that. And the figure, to me, like, I know like people are really picky about like exposed joints and stuff like this. I'm not in love with the look of this figure, but yeah, I won't go too much more into detail because I don't really know enough about it, but this would be a drop for me.
Yeah, kind of same with me. I've seen it before on comic book covers and things like that, of course. And the Mark 85 is kind of the colorway of this one, which would kind of be cool if you had them side by side. That would look a little, if you're into the comic book.
Yeah, era. I do like the colors. Like, I feel like the popping colors, like our comics, like the comic look like that. It looks good, but yeah.
And my main question would be like, is this die cast? Like, that'd be kind of cool if it was die cast. It really would.
Doesn't look like it. Looks plastic to me.
Yeah, it does to me as well. But Shane, this is a cop or a drop for you?
Nah, this is a drop. I think it goes back to my collecting and rooted in movies. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of the time I'll see a movie that I love so much, and I'll do a little research on it and find out where the director took inspiration from, what comic books they picked and chose their muse from, and I'll go back and I'll read them. I have gone back and read like the really, really old origins, the first appearance of Iron Man and stuff like that. And these things were written like well over 50, 60 years ago and stuff like that. The drawings are very simple. The diagrams are a little cheesy, but that's part of the appeal and the beauty.
Yeah.
But this does absolutely nothing for me. If I had to get a comic book accurate version, I think the first one they released with the acrylic parts is a much more beautiful looking figure.
Yep.
Honestly, this looks like something that'd be in Toys R Us for $50, and that's going to be a very, very unpopular opinion. But that's just maybe the diehard comic book fans are looking at this and they're eating that up.
Yeah.
But it's just, it really doesn't do anything for me. If I had to pick a comic book actor, I'd be going back getting the one with the acrylic parts. I thought that was very, very nicely stylized.
I think so too.
These joints are really opened up. Like, there's a lot of space there.
Yeah.
When you're paying them this much of a premium, it's really hard to justify in that way for me.
Yeah. Austin, cup or drop?
Yeah, this is a drop for me. It doesn't fill my cup. This isn't the particular style that I want. Just like Shane said, my collecting origins kind of stems from movies themselves.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't necessarily fall into that. It looks good. It looks good. Yeah, this just isn't for me.
Yeah, I understand that too. Yeah, I'm a big Iron Man fan too, and this just it's cool and all that, but there has to be more. There has to be more. I love realism as well, so that's kind of where it cuts ties with me.
Yeah, this would be hard for me to put like on the same scale as like another Iron Man hot toy that's $300.
I could see why if you had all the Iron Mans, I would see why you would collect. Like if you had a whole shrine of Iron Mans, I would see why that would be kind of cool to like put him in the beginning of all of them and kind of go down the line and then where it is now. That would be something that would be really cool. Or if you're going to put this next to the actual comic itself, somewhere away from your collection, that would be as cool as well. But we do have some votes in here. So we do have 13 votes. And guys, I think this might be the first one. 0% cop. And drop is at 100% out of 13 votes.
MODOK at least got, what did you say, 10%?
Yeah, MODOK got more percentage on copying this than the Iron Man. So that's crazy. But let's see what a few people are saying in here. Like I said, I am new at reading through a lot of the comments. So if I skip your name, I am so sorry. Let's see. Wish they did a comic inspired stuff that isn't Iron Man. X-Men would be nice. Yeah, I forgot what company did it, but I saw a lot of on Sideshow Con, a lot of the one of these things were doing like the X-Men stuff. I forgot what it was though, but their Wolverine looked really good. And you know what, guys? Sorry, I know that there's no music in here. I thought there was. I am so sorry, guys. Thank you, Steve, for telling me. I usually have music and I didn't put it on.
I like hearing everybody's voice anyways.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go back to the thing over here. We got Reverse Zio saying, if I knew I was getting a comic cap, then this would be awesome to pose with. It would. That would look really cool. Both a lot of comic accurate things would look good like in a shelf by themselves. but it's hard to have like a lot of realism stuff, and then you got this, so you kind of have to separate those two. Good old Spachko saying it looks like a Marvel Legends, which it does. Mark's laughing at that. The crotch area with the joints looks bad. Yeah, it really does. You can see it kind of right here.
Yeah,
it does look not good at all. Mike is saying as much crap as the 2099 figure got, this is a much more of a Marvel Legends figure than that was. Yeah, that's true, Mike. And I know that a few people actually want this, and I understand why, because they love comics. But this one, yeah, Ren's Mondo, I think that's what it was. It was Mondo figures. I'm not familiar with them, but it was the Mondo, like Wolverine and stuff. They look really good. I think this is okay for $50 Yeah, if this was $50, I would totally cop this if it was 50. But we know Hot Toys is not going to do that. But guys, I think we're in the middle of the show, and you guys know what time it is. So let me get the little. Hold on, guys. Y'all know I'm bad at this. Sure. Give me 1 second. Switching over these things. Austin, you want to say anything while I'm doing this about something like you always do?
Austin, you're muted.
You're muted, Austin. That's probably why we couldn't hear you.
There we go. Let's try this again.
Yeah, you're trying to improvise for me. Improvise for me.
What do you guys got going on? Any movie plans or figure plans or content?
I just started watching. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the show Justified.
I don't think I've heard of it.
With Timothy Oliphant, so you know the Marshal in Mando.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like a U.S. Marshal. He's like a U.S. Marshal in this show. It's like a crime drama type show. But one came out in 2000. I forget. It was like a few years ago, maybe.
Like Cobb Vanth on Earth.
Yeah. He's a U.S. Marshal, and like the first one's in Kentucky. It's really, really good. It's like a crime drama show. But they just came out, like that was like 7 seasons or something like that. They just came out with a new one, like a limited series with him back, called Justified City Primeval, and it's in Detroit. So like I grew up like an hour from Detroit, so bonus. I really like that show, so I'm watching that. Anyways, there you go, Joey.
There it is. Yeah, I didn't mean for it to pop up right now, but hey, it did it. But anyways, let me get. How do I get this off my screen? Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So let me do the segue into this, and we will get into this or that. So here we go, guys. See y'all whenever this finishes. I need to get better at setting up. That's always hard to share the screen to a different screen. So, guys, here it is. This is this or that. Let me switch it so we can see the whole thing. This or that. So I will be doing polls for this as well. We got 3 thises or that's. So this is basically if you could get one of these figures for free, but you can't get the other one at all, like ever. Which one are you picking? So we've done Marvel, we've done Star Wars. We've done Star Wars first, then Marvel, and now we're at DC, guys. And some of these figures are going to be out there, like these first ones right here. I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but these are a few that I thought of whenever I said DC. So we're going to start this off with Austin. Is this or that for you? Which one are you picking? Also, I have the poll going here in a second down in the comment section. Just is this or that, Austin?
So I may be in the minority on this one, but I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
I just have a bigger attachment to the Joker. And granted, I definitely know Leto's Joker is absolutely not for everybody. But he would fit into the love of a character for me a lot more and kind of fill my cup a bit more than Deadshot.
Yeah. I actually, I always get a lot of crap because before this all came out, I was saying that this Joker was going to be decent. Honestly, I don't know why. And then when I watched the movie, I was like really, like y'all make me look stupid. But I don't know. So
it's tough because objectively, I think the Deadshot figure is much better.
Oh yeah, and you get a head sculpt with the Deadshot figure as well, and the head sculpt isn't too bad. But I can see that. I feel like the Joker has some cool chains on him. He has the cool the Joker is gonna pop out more, 100% for me too as well. I guess I'll say this too while I'm at it. But Steve, what are you thinking? I know you don't collect DC or anything like that.
I would go with that. Hey, I do have the InART Joker. Okay, you guys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would say that though. I would say that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a different variation. If I'm gonna have a Joker, I already had a Joker in my collection. I would rather stick with that one if I had it. But I would go with that. I actually like this character design. The newer Suicide Squad movie is better than the old one. Like I really enjoyed the reboot, and also really enjoyed Peacemaker. Plug for that show. That was actually a good show.
A good show.
I really liked it.
I was gonna put him on here too, but he hasn't released yet. So
John Cena surprised me with his acting in that show, to be honest. Coming from being a wrestling fan. But anyways, I would go with that. I like this character design. Also, I like figures that look, objectively picking between one of these, like I said, I'd rather go with a different Joker. And then this also, I like action type characters like this. I think his mask and his armor looks really cool, and the M4. So I think, from a character design standpoint for me, I'd rather have that. And like I said, this Joker it wouldn't be the one that I would want to go with.
Yeah.
So I would say I would go with that.
Okay. I will say that Joker head sculpt is really good though. Yeah. That's really good.
Cool. I actually think objectively it's a cool looking figure, but I'd go with that.
Yeah. Shane, this or that, which one are you picking? If you can get it for free.
I'm about to offend some people. I did not like this movie at all, and I wouldn't want either in my collection. But a quick eBay search unveils that the Joker goes for another maybe $100 or $200 more. So if I was to pick one of these, I'd be picking to sell it, and I'd pick the Joker.
You pulled a fast one on this or that. Nobody's done that one yet.
No one's done that yet. I try to look at the prices. I try to look at the prices before, so it could be kind of even. But there is some people that, if you actually like this, there is some people that would choose. They don't care, how much the prices are and stuff like that. If they if they like it. So some people like Austin, you said this, right? And me too, because we like the Joker. We think it's out there, things like that. He also has a lot of tattoos all over his body. You don't really see that much with Hot Toys as well.
Also, sorry to interrupt you. Isn't there an issue with this Joker really getting a large purple stain on his skin too?
Oh, I think that with
the jacket.
Yeah, that is.
I think a lot of people.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, people were taking his jacket off and his whole back was purple stained. I know that was
sucks.
A huge issue. That would haunt my dreams forever, seeing something like that on one of my figures. But
all right,
I would do the same. Shane, that was really good, man. I like that. I would do the same thing.
Y'all gotta be fast.
These don't have a place in my collection, but everyone I got, I just sell it.
Yeah. I gotta be honest.
I'm gonna pick you first on this next one, so you don't have time to look on eBay, okay?
Sorry.
I said I'm gonna pick you first, so you don't have time to go on eBay on this next one.
Okay. Cool.
I got you. All right. So for this or that, we got a Joker for that. So that got 63% of the people going to cop the Deadshot, and then 36% of the people are saying Joker. So that was out of 11 votes, I believe. Yeah, 11 votes. So the next one, guys, is going to be these two right here and now. Is this a this or that for you guys? So Shane, we're starting off right here. It might be an easy one for you, honestly. We got the Justice League Wonder Woman and the Batman Beyond's Arkham Knight Batman.
I'd probably pick the Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any particular reason why you pick it over the Batman Beyond? You don't really know Batman Beyond that much, or?
No, I know it's a game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not figures that I particularly gravitate to or collect.
Yeah.
I don't know, just maybe something different to have a female character in the collection.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I see why. Steve, which one?
This is tough.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of with Shane in that, I'm not really drawn to these.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is a cool character. I like the character in Wonder Woman. I don't know much about Batman Beyond, but I really like games, and Anytime something is red, like has a really cool black and red design for me, just like this Batman looks pretty cool. But I'd probably lean more towards Wonder Woman. Yeah, okay, I'd go this.
At this, so I have the poll down there if you guys want to do that. So we got 2 thises, and I guess for me, I'm gonna do that because I just really love that red and black. I do, like you said, the red and black is good, and I think this guy has like a wing, like a nice cape as well. It just looks like really good. I know I can't show all the photos on here because I mean that would be a lot of photos, but the detail in his suit is just absolutely insane, and I love Batman a lot, so I would pick that honestly. But Austin, which one?
So I actually love Batman Beyond, but this is pretty easy for me. I'm obsessed with Wonder Woman, so going with this. And I also hate to do this, but something just came up, and I gotta go.
No, you're good, Austin.
Okay,
see you, dude.
I'll see you. See you later. Everybody, subscribe, Austin. I said it before he left.
Good plug.
yeah. But yeah, so he said that too, or what did he say?
He said this.
He said this. Okay, so I'm in the minority.
That Batman is cool though, man.
It is.
This is a tough one for me to go either way.
Yeah. Let's see what some people are saying. A lot of people are saying, we got Yomo saying that. Let's see, a lot of people saying that. I grew up an hour from north of Detroit. They're probably
Frogman and I were talking. We were
okay.
Together.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Let's see. Mike's saying, he's talking to Daniel. Let's see. Let's just end the poll right now. Let's see where we're at, because the poll was at 50%. I was trying to get more people to do it. So it looks like you guys are kind of the chat's kind of thinking like you guys. So we got Justice League, Wonder Woman at 63%, and at that we got 36%. So yeah, it's mainly these two, which one got Wonder Woman is where it's mainly at. People really would gravitate towards her more. So now the last one we have right here, and let's go boom. So these two right here are the ones that are, I know Shane, you have this one, right? The Justice League, don't you?
Yeah, I've got the Justice League Superman.
So if you have it, just act like you don't have it. Basically, that's what we say on here.
All right, yeah. So
okay.
Then they'd be the Justice League. The Superman. Yep.
You go for the Superman still? If you had to choose.
I kind of when I bought it, I wanted like Henry Cavill Superman because I really liked Man of Steel, and then I wasn't a big Justice League fan at all, but I really like the vibrancy of the suit. It's like his suits get brighter as this movies go. I really liked it, and pretty jacked. It's hard to put the arms down by the side. They don't really tuck in any further than this photo, to be honest. But I do like this figure. I think it's pretty good.
And that InART Joker we saw, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But man, the difference on this one and that one.
You mean like the InART Superman?
Yeah, that we got the tease for. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. But Steve, what are you doing? Which one are you picking?
I'd go that.
You go that too?
I agree with Shane what he said about this one. I think it looks.
I am just
cool version of Superman.
Yeah, I am just the opposite of you guys today, man.
I'm a sucker for Batman, but like, there's other Batmans that I would choose over this one.
Yeah. This one comes with the head sculpt too, but I do love the vibrancy of that Superman suit. It just pops. It really does. We got a few people saying, a lot of people saying this. I don't know if that was from the other ones, but let's see. Just still talking. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the poll. Let's see how many people voted on this one. Oh, did I not? Oh, I didn't even do a poll for this one. So we're just going to see what the chat says. So let's see. We got this, that. We got this. Yeah. There's going to be like, if you're a Batman fan, a lot of people are going to be doing, this. But I can really, I'm right there on, both these.
Yeah, they're both pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why I put it kind of last, because it was kind of more of a tie type of thing. But I'm going to take this screen off, guys, and we are going to talk about the second half of the show is going to be talking about a little bit more copper drops. I'm going to bring back up here. Let me take this off and get back to where we were. So here it is. Is this one? Austin's usually my guy that helps me get through this, but I think I have it. I'm getting a little better. Let's see. Share. Sorry, my camera's in the way, guys. Share. All right. So the Death Star Trooper. I know this thing has been shown so much. Is this a cop or a drop for you guys? Because this is going to be a big piece as well. And look at the pole. I don't know why the pole behind him is that big. And why...
I think it has like stuff up at like there's up.
Is there
above,
something on top of him?
Yeah, there's like some either lighting or there's something that pole like he's attached to it, but there's an accessory up above him. It might be shown in another photo, maybe.
I think I have another photo on here.
Yeah, there's another thing above him. I think it's like a lighting. It's like a lighting or there's something. There's something that's above him. I forget exactly what it is.
Okay. So Shane, are you gonna cop this thing if it actually got released?
I probably not. No. Again, I think there's another purgatory figure waiting to happen, but like people lose their minds if this comes out. It's so simple. I think it's a cool diorama. It's like reminds you of some kind of stuff that Jazz Inc. does. This is from A New Hope, right? When they go into the detention block, isn't it?
I believe so. Steve probably knows more about that than me.
I'll tell you, people who should get this, the people who have the Han and Luke Stormtrooper outfit and the A New Hope Leia. Yeah. Like put them in a module case with this, man, just looks so cool. That's exactly what I would do. Yeah. But maybe if I had the Han and Leia, or sorry, Han and Luke and Stormtrooper, I might be more tempted to pick this up. But no, it would be a bit lost in my collection without them, I think. So no.
You got this down here. It just looks really detailed from Hot Toys. Especially all of this does. That's just crazy to me. But I have a poll down there, guys. Let me know if you're gonna cop or drop this one if it actually comes out. But Steve,
Shane, you think this one's coming? You think there's a chance?
No chance. Yeah.
This one's tough because they showed this a couple years ago with the same figure. I remember it was labeled Death Star Gunner, even though he's not a gunner. But it's interesting. The only thing that leans me more like towards this might come out is the fact that they're showing it again. I can also see this potentially just coming out as the figure alone and them not doing the diorama. There's so much diorama. There's so much diorama talk, and there's so many different things shown from that aspect, but none of it has really come to fruition. It seems like these large dioramas. But I agree with exactly what Shane said. Like having,
you know what they could do?
Stormtrooper disguise. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what they could do? They could give you him and the bit that he's facing.
Yeah. Like give just one section of it or something like that.
Yeah.
I think like that would be a smart move because like this is another very like a lot of these large pieces. It seems like they just don't happen. So I think would it be cool to get it? Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Like Shane said, is get Luke and Han and Stormtrooper disguise and put them in this, in this area. I think that would just be so cool having that. But I think, this is a tough one. I would love for this to come out. I would get it. Like this would be a cop for me for that sake. With module cases coming and stuff, I would definitely like want to end up getting this. But with that being said, I could see them more so just having the figure. And I would think that would be pretty easy for them to do because I don't think they really need a character likeness for this. So they wouldn't like. I would think they would just, it would be a easy figure for them to do. This seems like a pretty basic outfit for them to be able to come out with as well. So I would say I lean more towards the figure coming out. I think that'd be really cool what Shane said, but having like just one little piece. I think
never thought of that.
Very smart move. But I don't think we get this entire thing. It's but I do think I do lean more towards just the figure coming out because this is the second time they've shown it. I don't know why they would show it a second time without maybe some indication of it coming out. But with that being said, I don't think this whole entire thing is likely to come out. But yeah, that's what I'll say about that one. Yeah, okay. Security cameras up there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Security cameras. But then I'm like, so the security cameras are like the pole is bent like this.
I think it's just because of the way that they have it set up.
Yeah. So if you're gonna have it, okay. So okay.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's a crotch grabber on it as well.
I think it's a clamp. I want to say it's either a clamp or something. But yeah, it's like I think it's leaning because the figure's attached to it. But
I know you wouldn't want the figure attached to it probably because it would make the.
I wouldn't attach it.
Yeah.
But for their sake, I'm sure that's why they did it.
So we do have the poll going, guys. So we got 15 votes on this one. So if this one was to come out, people say copper drop, and right now it is at, I just ended it. We got a drop at 66% and a cop at 33%. So we kind of have this like 60s and 30% going on around here, or what people usually say. We had a lot of people talking about this one, and I love to see that. I love that everybody's getting hyped for these. I know that we can't really get hyped because we don't know if it's going to get released or not, but like Shane said, that they could actually release this guy and come out with a section of it, which I didn't even think of, but there's literally sections here that you can take off and make into a base, and it would look absolutely it would look great. It would honestly look really good. I'm glad, thank you for saying that, Peyton. Security cameras, thank you. Mark Tech saying drop, but it looks cool. Frogman saying dopo for him. I love dioramas, and this is a OT famous scene. So yes, me, I'm not crazy about OT. I like it, but I haven't seen it as much as I've seen the prequels. It as a Mike is saying it as a representation from the version I love, rather than what the branding on the package says. Does this make sense? So
I think he's talking about another comment he had mentioned before that.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about like is this. Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about like if this had like Hot Toy, like if it was another brand, they could make this, but like Hot Toys, if it had Hot Toys. So I guess that's kind of what he was saying to Daniel. We got MB Dyson in here. What's up? Diorama Rama. Yes. Dioramas are awesome. I love when Hot Toys comes out with dioramas. Even if it's a little bit more expensive, I'll always go for a diorama. But let's go to the next one, guys. Let's see what we have next. Okay, so here we go. Here's where the fun begins, I guess you could say. So we have the rooted Anakin that got kind of teased from Hot Toys and teased from the Sideshow Con. Now I'm going to do, of course, a poll in the chat for this one. I know a lot of people are going to want to vote for this one, but Shane, if this actually dropped and it didn't, well, I guess you could say, I don't know. I guess we don't know. I was going to say, if it didn't look like what it looked like at the con, we got those secret photos or whatever. If it comes out looking like this, would you cop it or drop it?
I don't collect prequels, so it's an easy drop.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
So, but like just like this, the figure itself, the face and the hair in this photo looks stunning. But obviously this has been poked and prodded at by the stylists, and this is the proper image that they want out. And I feel that maybe they put these images out there because, I don't know, with Sideshow, did they jump the gun or whoever? And that version that was the display one where the hair looked a little rough was maybe leaked, and Hot Toys was no, that shouldn't have been out there or something. So they put these images out. I think these look stunning, like, great face sculpt. I think the hair, it reminds me of the hair that he had in Revenge of the Sith. It's all good here.
Yeah.
But if it looks like, if the actual product looks like what we got on those display images, then I don't think people will be happy with it, to be honest. And again, we look like Hot Toys has never done a rooted figure that I thought was good.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, gosh, that face sculpt just looks so good, and it's going to have the rolling eyes probably. And I'm just wondering how you're going to be able to keep this kind of hair with taking out the head to move the eyes. How are you going to be able to keep up with?
Do you have the rooted Joker?
I do not.
Joey's still waiting for his to come.
I am still waiting for mine.
I have a
Spec Fiction.
But I don't have it displayed right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit of it's creepy. A little bit of his back of his scalp comes off.
Yeah, like you're doing surgery.
It's like you have to lift up some outer hair, and it comes off with a little green lump of hair, and you fiddle with it, and you put it back in, and you put the hair over it. It's I've done that like once since I got it, because the less I touch that hair, the best. I was actually very impressed by the rooted hair. I know not everyone has, but for me, rooted hair, that's the standard I'm looking for, or higher from now on if I do get rooted hair. So
Shane,
if the prototypes aren't on point, chance that a final product won't be on point.
Yeah.
Size.
No, I was to say this prototype looks really good. If this was a like if this was to your taste as far as a figure that, you know, in the like you know, outside of the prequels, like what would you consider it if this was like a Luke Skywalker, if it was a figure like you highly desired and the prototype came out looking like this rooted? Is that something that you'd want to pick up?
I'd need data. I would need data. I think that'd be one that'd be. Yeah. I know a lot of the time now. So like if you look at the trends, it was dopo to you don't have to pre-order anything, and now back and there's people playing waitlist wars, and you're keep an eye on Sideshow, and people are pre-ordering because they're afraid of missing out. But like I get my stuff from Hong Kong, so a lot of the time, even these ones that like go waitlist, you can still get from Hong Kong based resellers. So I would wait. I'd nearly want to see, in order for me to buy a Hot Toys rooted hair figure, I want to see a final product first. Even if that means the very first one that they bring out, if I'm interested in it, that I miss out on. Because then at least I get to go, okay, they can do it, and that's pretty damn impressive. So I'm going to take more note of the next ones, you know. So I would wait until see the final product. Maybe you miss it, maybe you don't, but at least you'll know then if it's good or not.
Yeah. This is one of those where it's like you gotta see the final product before you can't really hit that pre-order button confidently, honestly. Especially with those ones. You know, Sideshow Con, they showed all, like, they would go and pan over to all the reveals and things like the Mandalorian and stuff like that. And I was hoping one day that they would do that with this one, but they never did they? I don't think they did. Do y'all know?
The only figure, or the only pictures I saw, I think someone put them on a Facebook group. Mm-hmm. It was like, was it a screenshot or something of this? I think it was on a display stand, and the hair, like, it wasn't the worst rooted hair I ever saw, but you could tell whoever styled it didn't style it.
Yeah, I didn't think the lighting was. I don't know if they used like the same clothing materials either. Like I thought the lighting wasn't that great. It made his hair look really light. Like his hair looked lighter. It looked way poofier. It just wasn't styled great. His robe didn't look great. Like I just the pose he was in wasn't great. But these figures, obviously, like Shane said, like they can tweak this to their liking. They can make it like this looks like you looking at this looks like Hayden Christensen. Like they really took the time and detail of putting the photo in this, making this look so good. Like this just looks crazy. This is kind of like when they did the. I remember there was a Rise of Skywalker Palpatine promo that came out, it was like a poster, and they had actually used the Hot Toys Palpatine face in the poster for the Rise of Skywalker because it looked so realistic.
They did that for a Predator too, I believe.
Yeah, it was like that. It was an actual like promo for the movie, and like his Hot Toys Emperor Palpatine was in there. But anyways, like this looks phenomenal. For me, this is 100%. Like I would be picking this one up, no doubt. Yeah. I think another thing is, I know a lot of people have already talked about this, but this is 100% Hot Toys' response to InART, right? InART's doing these ultra premium, or not, I shouldn't say ultra premium, but InART's doing this premium line, rooted hair. Hot Toys knows that they have to compete. Also, like InART has only put out one figure. This is Hot Toys capitalizing on that. They put out a lot more figures than InART. The thing that is a question, like Shane mentioned, Joy, you mentioned it too, is how are they going to do the rooted hair? Because there's been some talk about how people aren't really all that impressed with rooted hair from Hot Toys. Another thing is like that Wonder Woman, the limited Wonder Woman that just came out. There were some kind of like promo shots from Sideshow Con for that, and people were like, I am really not all that thrilled with my pre-order based on how this looks. They didn't think it really looked that great. So I think it depends on if they can make it look like this, which is obviously going to be a tough thing to do. If they can get close to this, I'll be very happy. I'm going to get this no matter what. As like a Star Wars collector primarily, and like I collect all the different eras. The only one I don't collect right now is the sequels, because I really want to get more stuff from OT and prequels. But I grew up with the prequels. First movie I saw in the theaters was Phantom Menace. I had seen like the originals before, but like I really enjoy the prequels. This character is an important character for me as far as like when I was growing up, and like I really enjoy the prequels. But also having this as like, I know Hot Toys, I've been talking about this in their post. They said like top-notch figure. Right, they're calling this, so like, is this going to expand and open up a line for Hot Toys where they focus on higher level premium figures that maybe come with multiple head sculpts, different, like how they did the InART Joker 2-pack. So I think it sounds like they're going to open up this new premium line, whatever they're going to end up calling that potentially, if it's going to be its own thing. And if this is the first character that comes out in this new premium line, I think looking back 5-10 years from now and having this, of like this was the very first figure that came out in that line too. I see that as an appeal for people.
Yeah, that's what
like
I was
this.
thinking.
This just like InART Joker. I think if you go 5-10 years from now, and you see like this InART Joker like rooted 2-pack as being the first figure that InART released, or like just InART Joker in general, whether or not you get rooted or sculpted. Yeah, I think looking back on that is cool. Of like this was the very first release that they did. I think like that's something that collectors will value as well. That's not like the primary thing for me, but yeah, as far as like, I think this just looks phenomenal. The outfit looks so good. Also, talking premium, like I really hope if they're going to do premium, they do something other than pleather, like real leather that's going to hold.
Yep.
You know, like if you're going to do premium, you have to do real leather. If you're
they need to do wires
premium,
in there. Wires like right around
like,
in this.
Right like if they can do an Indiana Jones leather, they can do this Jedi, you know, like this parts of this, the belt and stuff. They can 100% do this leather. So if they're going to do premium, they better, all I'll say is they better make it all of this really, really premium.
But honestly, it looks like pleather right here, honestly. But
I think too, like that might be them doing like a promo. Like they have all these accessories. Like I think this is just like Shane said too, the video came out of the one to the prior day, and there are already rumblings about it. It didn't look that great, so they like, okay, let's get our information out about this looking like a top tier premium figure with these really, really nice prototype, probably photoshopped photos in some instances where they can really clean it up.
I'll tell you what, if these 3 images had come out and the leaked images of it on display had never been saw the light of day, this would have broke the internet.
Yeah.
People would have lost their minds. Like the diehard anti-InART Hot Toys fanboys would have been saying, take that InART.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like,
that's a really good point.
Yeah. That if this would have broke the internet, everyone would have been going on. They're going, this is going to be amazing. So impressed. Because this looks stunning.
It does.
But because we'd seen behind the curtain, people went, yeah, but we kind of know how it could potentially turn out. And I think maybe that's the disservice that was done, because this does look awesome. But yeah, I completely agree with Stephen about the if they're going to do this new line, which maybe this is their replacement for the DX now, because we know that DX was kind of like suffering shrinkflation for the longest time. Maybe now they've said, right, the DX is done, but they've seen collectors spend $1,100 on a rooted Joker. And let's be honest now, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, people spent over $1,000 on a figure. No. There was 2 figures in that pack. Let's be honest now. There was 2. They're both rooted. The head sculpt's fantastic. The paint apps, the tailoring, the die-cast weaponry, everything. And then there's a diorama base, which is made of real wood and metal. So if you want to break it down, how much value, what do you think the price of the diorama base and the chair cost? What do you think? If you $1,100 total, what do you think that cost?
Probably 200. You think 200?
Yeah, probably. Right. Yeah.
If you take 200, that leaves 900, 2 figures, 450 each. So maybe Hot Toys are realizing, okay, we're pricing most of our figures around 300, maybe 350 now, if it's not a die-cast arm or whatever. So we could actually, with our standard figures, we get them some rooted hair and a few improved accessories, we could charge 450.
Yeah,
easily.
We just have this like premium line or whatever. Yeah. So like this would have broke the internet if you hadn't seen that other photo, I think.
What was the price on the recent rooted Wonder Woman that just came out? Was that
I forgot.
Was it 400?
Probably was around that.
Because I think too, if you have a rooted Wonder Woman, and I know that one's limited, but it was still, I think it was 400, maybe a little bit more.
Forgot.
Yeah, maybe look it up and see what the price on that one was. But I think too, like this is gonna probably be potentially more. Like if that one came in at 400, this one, like I could see this one pushing 5, especially if it's real leather. Like this thing is gonna potentially price some people out. I think I don't see them
400.
Yeah, 400. So I could see this one pushing 5. Like if they do especially if they do real leather. Like if they do real leather rooted, and they maybe add a certain type. I know there's a base in that video that was shown. Like depending on what they do with the base and the accessories, 450 would be ideal, honestly. Like I think 450 would be pretty good. But again, how are they going to market this premium line? I think that's really going to dictate the price as far as what type of accessories they bring out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It really depends on the accessories as well. If we're just getting a lightsaber, maybe one other accessory.
No, they better bring it. That's all I was saying is like they better really bring it with this figure as their first one. And I think they will. I think knowing like this, to me, like I said, I think their response to InART, not that they have to necessarily compete with InART in that way, like where Hot Toys is going to have a problem if they don't, because like I said, InART's only released one figure, but I think it's enough to catch their attention and want people to focus on them for these premium figures. Another thing I just want to touch on real quick too is the hair. I know a lot of the topic of conversation has been around like, well, I don't really want to have to spend the time, you know, messing with the hair, like what's that gonna look like. For me, I don't really want to either, but if you can get it looking like this, I would be 100% fine with that. You know, I'm not really gonna be too picky about that, but with that being said, you better be able to get it to look like this and look right. It shouldn't be,
you shouldn't have to take it to a stylist.
You shouldn't have to take it to a stylist. And also with it being shorter, I know like Wonder Woman has really long hair. Some of these other rooted figures that people are not happy about, they're longer hair. This is shorter hair. You know, given how InART Joker is, hopefully it's a little bit easier to deal with. And I don't know, like, I know InART's hair is different than Hot Toys hair, but with it being shorter, I would think that styling it and getting it to stay is probably going to be easier rather than this really long flowing like Wonder Woman hair. You know what I mean? That has to be curled a certain way. And like this to me looks like if you can get it looking like this, I don't really know how much you're going to have to really mess with it in order to get it to stay. Like this is a good, I think, honestly think doing shorter hair rooted figures is a good idea rather than doing something longer. But Shane, you made a really good point about how this would have blew up even more if they didn't have, like, if you didn't have the letdown of how it looked when the video came out. Like, that's just like a bummer, honestly, because now everyone's like, well, hold on, look at what it looked like when they showed it. If this is the same figure, then that could be potentially be a problem. You know what I mean? So
really
that's
interested to see when they put out the actual pre-order photos. Really
and is it going to be limited? That's kind of another topic of conversation. Like, is this going to be a limited run? Are they going to do X amount of figures for this? I personally hope like everybody who wants an Anakin, because this thing will sell like hotcakes. This thing is going to sell like crazy. Everybody wants an Anakin. Sorry,
you can tell there. No, you're good. You can tell there's product in here as well. Like right here, there's product right there.
Stuff
there needs to be.
And I was thinking like, you know, this is kind of the length as Joker has for his hair, so they probably have been waiting to do a Joker as well to compete with InART, like we said, but it might not be the Joker that we're all thinking of. It might be like a nurse Joker. It might be, you know, another iteration, you know, a different one. I believe. I wish they'd come out. Honestly, if they came out with a nurse Joker, I think that would be really.
That'd be a great move.
Yeah, I think I read something about. There's some controversy about a company doing the nurse Joker because like the scene involves like the explosion of the hospital.
Oh my goodness!
So that they're
the
not.
Hospital was empty.
That like,
and
I had read something about that.
Yeah.
I'd read something about that. Like, well, if you release a figure like that, that's kind of a controversial thing of like blowing up a hospital and stuff.
But you know,
I agree. I think it'd be a really cool figure.
Anakin killed all these kids. I mean,
like that was brought up. That's literally what I typed in the chat. Like
this
was brought up before about the hospital, and I was like, the kids or not, the Joker wasn't exactly giving foot rubs for the rest of the Dark Knight, and this guy slaughtered a bunch of younglings. So it's
like, where do you draw the line? I thought that was really interesting too. Of like, I just wanted to bring that up because I heard it. But these people aren't like really. Like, the Joker wasn't doing good things. He killed somebody with a pencil. You know, he's not really doing like some other things that would. But we got that version of the character.
Him and John Wick.
I mean? Yeah. We got John Wick just murdering multiple people. So that's a really good point. But I just wanted to bring that up.
My battery died, guys. Hold on.
But so I think like this will be like, I'm really excited to see what they do for this. And I already have I have light side Anakin, I have dark side Anakin, I have Clone Wars Anakin. But yeah, this one would be like a rooted Anakin with just 100%, something that I would definitely have to pick up. And also I know there's people like I saw in the groups recently, like some people are like the price of dark side Anakin has dropped randomly. Like I saw some dark side Anakins which been going for, $600-700 going for like $450. So people are already trying to offload.
I'm looking at one right now here. €360, which is just under 400.
That's crazy.
Is this the dark side?
Even the light side at that price. Like,
I think it's light side.
People are already offloading their Anakins, which is something that I would not do. And also I would like. There's nothing that would make me sell the dark side Anakin sculpt.
I don't know why people are selling. I don't know why people are selling the dark side if this doesn't even have the eyes like the dark side.
You want to make this real premium.
Yeah.
You know, come out with a 2-pack light and dark side Anakin and do some really cool stuff in that way. You put you could do some cool stuff like that, but I don't know if that would ever happen. But I think it's a great.
As well, someone mentioned as well the concern about if it's a hood, if it has a hood, which it will have a hood, just messing up the hair with the hood.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like if the rooted hair turns out this good, there's no way I'd be putting a hood over that if I was scaring it.
You want to display with that, right?
But I could see as well. It's like, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
that's all I'll say about this. I know I kind of went off on a.
No, you're good.
I'm excited for this one. This one looks like if they can get it to look like this head sculpt too, like regardless of the rooted hair,
amazing.
This is just an incredible. Like they nailed this head sculpt. The face just looks like. I don't know how they could have done it better. Hayden Christensen portrayal.
I don't either.
This just looks, immaculate. So that's all to win that one.
No, you're good. Yeah, it is a win. It is a win.
Shane, you're lucky you don't collect prequels because you're like, don't collect prequels. Fine with not getting it. More power to you for that. You know what I mean?
The thing that gets me is like, no matter what hobby I'm into, I like to be sustainable. I want to be here next year and the next year and 5 years time and so on. Like, and I've been collecting on and off something since I was probably teenager or kid or whatever. But like I find the best way of doing that is rule out entire lines. So I'll never collect anything from the Clone Wars, the sequels. I have one prequel figure, and that's Cody because I'm a trooper collector for my sins. But there's so much out there now. If you're like if you're into say the big three, Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, fine. And then if you're into say like 80s, 90s science fiction, so like your Matrix figures, your Terminator, your RoboCop. Like unless you've got like a massive basement and a bigger wallet, you cannot have everything. Like so I see those Clone Wars figures and I go, they're cool. Thank God my wallet is safe. Like
God, I wish I felt that way.
Yeah,
I collect troopers and clones and all that stuff, so it's tough.
I did the chat. So at the rooted Anakin for the copper drop. So we got 77% of the people saying cop, and then drop at 22%. So the majority, it's 18 votes. So the majority is saying cop on that one. Let's go through a couple of chats before we get to the next thing, and let's see what some people are saying. Like I said, I am new to looking through all these chats, but I hope I get through a lot of them. So we got cop from Mark Attack. Gilmo saying this is where the fun begins. Yes, it is. Let's see. We got Brian saying 1,000% cop. I think he was saying Shane. I think it was for, I forgot what he said, but I think it was.
No, I don't collect prequels.
You don't collect prequels.
Makes it a lot easier, man.
Yeah. Daniel saying my backup emergency Anakin in case something happens to his dark side Anakin. Yep. Mike Latorius is saying that I'll probably buy Anakin, but I'm not sold on the rooted. Also, I'm not looking forward to telling my wife that I need a few minutes alone to brush and maintain my chosen one. Let's see. And the other figure, Obi-Wan, Mustafar Duel. Yeah, you need it. I wonder if we would get an Obi-Wan and if it would be rooted or not. I doubt it would be rooted, but we'll see because of the beard. Peyton said, I think this could be limited like the PS5 Spideys. Now that would be a crazy limited because I know a few people had not got those Spider-Mans and it was kind of hard. I didn't try though.
Yeah, it's a whole nother topic of conversation. Like, is this going to be some type of limited run release or like what are they going to do for that? Which is definitely going to drive the interest up even more if they do that.
Yep. We got very realistic. I can almost hear him whining. Let's see. Let's keep going. A lot of people are just talking amongst themselves. Someone said, Frogman said it'd be 400.
That would be, if they do that, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Wouldn't pay more than 500 is what Daniel is saying. This premium Anakin is going for retail $375.
I don't see it, man.
Man, I don't either. But yeah, guys, I know there's a lot of y'all talking through here, but we're gonna get to The next couple things are going to be, these are kind of two that we can have together. So I'm going to actually exit out of this. It's not this yet, but we got this. I think that's the easier way to, oh, it took it off, but let's see, share screen. So this next one, these two, of course, are going to be together. This is going to be the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man that released. This one actually released pretty fast, and honestly, I shouldn't have bought the OG one. I bought it a couple months. I bought it like maybe 4 months ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I was like, I think it was before it got announced. I'm not sure. Maybe maybe I'm thinking that it was not. It was, you know what I'm saying. But this one looks amazing. This was a cop for me, of course. The head sculpt. Sorry guys, the head sculpt still does look kind of soft to me. It doesn't look. I know he had that stubble on his face a little bit, didn't he, in the movie? So it's just not there. And I seen someone else do like a head sculpt as well, and it looked a little bit better than Hot Toys can actually do. But I'm not gonna complain too much. This is Spider-Man. I mean, look at that, guys. That is absolutely insane. So, Steve, is this a cop or a drop for you? I guess we could say both of these. You could say for the Lizard and for Spider-Man, is it a cop or a drop?
Yeah, I think I kind of grew up watching these Spider-Man movies too. Mm. I lean more towards like the Tobey Maguire movies.
Yes, so do I.
So I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't.
You're supposed to say fact after that.
Yeah. But I like I think Andrew Garfield does a great job too. I'm not really real big into that debate of what's better. I probably honestly I've thought about getting some one-off figures, and I probably wouldn't this is not a cop for me. Yeah. I also really like Tom Holland's Spider-Man too. So I don't know what Spider-Man I'd pick up. I also I'm a gamer, so I really like the Spider-Man figures from the games, which I did not chase. I did not try to get those. Didn't try to pre-order these limited ones that just came out. Something I might consider adding down the road, but there's a lot of Star Wars pre-orders I have coming up. That's kind of my primary thing that I collect. So it's really hard for me it has to be a banger for me to really get something that's, really gonna, come home. But I would say I know they made some upgrades to the suit. The suit looks really good.
Yeah. They didn't make many though. They really didn't.
That's why a comparison to the older one, it's a little bit, isn't a different fabric and there's some.
Oh, it might be. I didn't look that far into it, but I'm just the head
fit
sculpt
is a little bit different. Yeah. The head sculpt isn't it a reused head sculpt?
It might be, but I don't think the OG. I have the OG. I don't know if the OG. It might. I can't see it from here, but have the option to actually take the head out. But I know the head sculpt on the OG one had a problem on it, because when I was looking for it, it had a problem where whenever the glue, that's what Nick told me, the glue would make this big old black spot on his forehead. So I was looking at a lot of the OG ones when I was looking for it, and all of them had that. All of them. I finally found one that didn't have it, but it was the glue that was actually on his forehead, and it was a big old black spot. And I just thought that was crazy. And a lot of people that got that problem are probably going to be picking this one up, honestly.
Yeah. This is a big investment, especially if you're getting the base too. This is a lot. Not something that's for me. But I will consider a Spider-Man in the future at some point. I'd like to get at least I would like to just get one. That'd be a character I'd get one of. What one would I get? I don't know, but I don't think it would be.
I think you should get Toby.
This wouldn't be the one that I would pick.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Toby. If you like Toby, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
you'd like that one.
That'd probably be the one that I would maybe lean towards, or a Tom Holland, or a video. Yeah, it's so hard to pick. A video game one I would really like too, because also I probably am not going to be displaying Spider-Man with the head sculpt personally. I just would like him in his outfit if I did display one, with his mask on. So yeah. I'm going to say a drop for me on both these. These ones don't really interest me too much, but cool looking figure.
Yeah, No Way Home was big for me, so that's why I literally am getting everything from No Way Home.
like many other people.
Deep pockets.
Yeah.
Deep pockets.
Hey, everything's almost paid off though, so hey.
That's good going.
Yeah. But Shane, copper drop for you. I know you dabble into Spider-Man, don't you, a little bit? Or no?
Yeah, the funny thing was I've sold a few Spider-Mans recently. I have the Homecoming Deluxe, and I feel like every time I say this, people roll their eyes. because the prototype image just sold me on that. Obviously, I liked Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man, and I really watching Homecoming and Civil War. I was like, man, they got this guy right. Yeah, they did it differently. They didn't show Uncle Ben died for the 14th time, but they did things differently. They did things their own way. But I liked the red and the blue suit, and I loved the way he came with the hoodie, the blazer, the headphones, the science book, the backpack, and I just loved that.
Yeah.
I loved that. So I was like, I wanted that. But while I was waiting to try and track that one down, because that was like long sold out, it was like $1,000 on eBay, and I wasn't going to pay that, so I had patience and eventually got it for like close to like 400, you know. But in the meantime, I got the Iron Spider. I picked up 2 upgraded suits. I have the battling version of Spider-Man here and stuff like that. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to get Andrew, the integrated suit, and Toby. That would bring me up to 8. And I want to get the final swingsuit, 9. That's ridiculous. That's just stupid. That is 100% stupid. That was like, there's no reason why I need 9 Spider-Mans, right?
Yeah.
So I broke it down and kind of going, what's important? So the 2 upgraded suits and the Iron Spider, they have been sold. I'm going to use that to fund the collection. I'm never going to part ways with the Homecoming because I think it's absolutely beautiful. I've got the oil change Spider-Man there, the battling version, posed up on the base. It looks great. Now, Mike, or was it Mark, said, am I completing this line?
Yeah, that's
I'm not completing this line. I'm not. But what I am getting for it, the final swingsuit, I think that's absolutely stunning. The head sculpt, the diorama, everything, that's coming home.
Beautiful.
And I do want to get, I've Toby on pre-order. The integrated suit, I think, is going to be destined for the bargain bin if it hasn't done so already. And I do want to pick this up. I want the 3 boys because I loved No Way Home.
Yeah.
Since Endgame, I think there's been 2 good MCU movies, and that's been, in my opinion, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and No Way Home. Love those movies. Like, they're very, very high standard MCU movies. I want to pose Andrew, Toby, and the integrated suit holding their masks, head sculpt exposed in some sort of a conversational pose in the D-top. I think that would just look really good.
Yeah.
Case in point here about this. Toby comes on his own or with the Sandman base.
Yeah.
Whether you buy them on their own or separately, both No Way Home branded. The same for the integrated suit. And this one here, Lizard is branded No Way Home, and this is branded Amazing Spider-Man 2. For whatever reason, legal issues, licensing, whatever, they could not get this done. This doesn't, unfortunately, it looks like the prototype we knew we were getting, so we can't really crib on that, but it doesn't have the stubble. He's not as old looking as Andrew, but in fairness, in the prototype images,
It's
that's
the same.
what he looked like. That little canister thing, which I think is a great accessory,
Oh yeah.
doesn't come with him. It comes with the Lizard base.
I know they make you get it.
Yeah, so I went off on a tangent there, but yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up. I've got Toby on pre-order, and then hopefully wait for the integrated suit to go bargain bin or some sort of a deal, but I won't be getting the bases.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have all 3 of them together as well, and man, it's just awesome to have them all together. And I have like a backdrop for the DTOF that goes behind them. That's the portal that I really like. No Way Home was just such a big movie, and I loved it so much. And it's just because of the nostalgia factor as well. I mean, that's why I really love it, seeing Toby in 4K. That's crazy to see that, or whatever K it is these days. but yeah, so this is a cop for Shane, cop for me, and then a drop. Or is it a drop for you, Steve? Right?
Drop. Take one out of Shane's book and say, I don't collect Spider-Man, so my wallet's safe.
Yeah.
You need that.
You need it in this. Yep.
You've got the computer games going on, the prequels. You haven't ruled out the sequels and the Clone Wars.
Yep.
You're in deep.
Yep. Yeah.
Also,
sequels
I
are
love
not
the
happening
Doc
for me.
Ock on this. The Doc Ock and the Hobo Goblin. So I will be picking them up there on
Yeah.
so.
I know you like that Hobo Goblin.
Yeah, so good.
Mark Attack said integrated suit was in the mixer match deal on Sideshow already, but I'm pretty sure you probably didn't want to have to buy a whole nother figure to go with it. Right? Yeah.
And Sideshow, I've said multiple times on my streams that imagine if every time you ordered from Sideshow for a standard 6 scale, they were charging you $50 to ship it.
Sheesh.
That's what it is to Ireland. And now imagine that
Sucks.
because you're ordering something outside the European Union, every time it gets imported into our borders, you have to add the kit together, the cost of the 6 scale figure, whatever you buy, the $50 shipping, whatever the shipping is, and then tack on an additional 30%. You'd very quickly find reputable Hong Kong resellers who could avoid you paying custom tax. And that's like my last order with Sideshow came in yesterday. Got the quarter scale Dark Knight.
Nice.
That's a big ass box.
I want that one. Yeah,
big ass box, and the customs was like €145. So
damn,
that's unsustainable.
Yeah,
ankles are very bad on it, Joey.
Oh, it is. Gosh,
the ankles are bad. You'll have to use the stand.
Really? I usually use stands anyways.
Yeah, the base is huge as well. It's absolutely huge.
Damn, man, that's rough.
Shane, Daniel's asking, Shane, maybe have them chilling on the construction railing from the Statue of Liberty. That'd be cool.
What does that come with? Or
no, I'm just saying, like, if they came out with it or something, that would be kind of cool. Like how they were. You would pose it like how they were whenever they were on the railing, like talking to each other.
Or get a diorama or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. That's cool that they show that in the background. Yeah. But I will end the poll. 16 votes on this one. Dang, I didn't think this was like really. I didn't think y'all would say this much of a drop. But drop is at 68% and cop is at 31%. Wow. I guess they didn't really do so much to make people actually want it again. That's crazy. They didn't, upgrade the suit so much. But we're on our last two things now. These might not be copper drops. I guess you could say, like, yeah, copper drop. But let me take this off. Sorry, guys. Y'all know how I am with sharing the screen. But we're gonna talk about this new thing that we saw yesterday that came up, and it is from InART. And you guys know we are talking about InART recently because of this. Let me share my screen real quick. Share. Okay, guys. Now, you can say copper drop, but this one wasn't really shown so much. Like not the whole body has been shown, so we can't really say anything. But by this picture that you're looking at, is this going to be a copper drop for you? Or if you don't want to answer now, you don't have to. I'll go with you first, Steve. What do you think? What do you think about this one?
I think it looks good. I want to see more of it, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, like, this is like a really early on photo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably not the person to like get into detail too much about this. I know, like, Shane has a Superman, so he can probably speak a little bit more to this. Joey, Joey, do you have a Superman?
I do not. I had the black suit, and the black suit just did not do it for me. Yeah, I think I think I needed the blue and red. The blue and red probably would represent Superman a lot better.
I think when it comes to InART, one thing I'm, I guess, kind of thankful for is like I primarily collect Star Wars, but InART Joker is one that I got because like I wanted a premium version of Heath Ledger Joker, who's one of my favorite characters, in all of, movies, and obviously just one of the best villains. Like that's kind of what it takes for me to get into another IP, so to speak. Like I've talked about in the past, the other one that I have is the stealth suit cap from Endgame with like the damaged gauntlet and the shield. Like I really like the stealth suit, really enjoyed Endgame. So that was like another figure that I have, but so it has to take a lot for me to get a figure outside of Star Wars, at least currently. I probably wouldn't be picking this one up. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it, honestly. You guys can probably say more and speak more to this because I don't collect those figures, so I don't really have. It's nice to have a comparison. I don't know really enough about DC figures from the Hot Toys end too to really speak to like what this looks like compared to that. I know there's been talk about like some people think the eyes need to be changed a little bit, or like the look just isn't quite right, but you guys can probably speak more to that as far as that goes. But this, for me, I would say I'm safe right now. InART's coming out with a lot of stuff that I really don't have an interest in picking up, thankfully. But yeah.
I will say the first thing I noticed, and I told you all literally whenever you sent it on here, is that Superman logo is so small to me. It looks very, very small. And I don't own the one from Hot Toys, but I've seen it a couple times, and I think the Hot Toys one is looking better right now. But I'm not going to cop it though. I would cop. I'm not this one at least, but the other one, if I had the chance to, I would at a good price. The Hot Toys one, I would. But Shane, I know you have the Superman. Would you cop this one if it was much of an improvement?
I bought the Justice League Superman not because I liked the Justice League, but because I wanted a Henry Cavill Superman. I wanted a representation of Henry Cavill in my collection, and I really, really like the vibrant blue of the suit. Now, it's not a perfect it's not a perfect figure. You know, the head sculpt is good, but it could be better. And the arms, very hard to put them down by the sides. Flight poses work a lot better than standing.
Okay.
I think they updated that with the black suit Superman. But when I bought that, I paired it up. I bought the battle damage armored Batman from Batman vs Superman. Again, I'm not a massive fan of BVS, but I like the source material, The Dark Knight Returns, and they look phenomenal together. Now, when this came out, when the boots dropped, the promo image of the boots, I was thinking, okay, I know what they've teased so far with the prototypes and the Joker and stuff like that. If the standard is good, I'll consider it, because then it makes a bit more sense, because you're matching a BVS Superman with a BVS battle damage armored Batman.
Cool.
But then I saw this, I think I'm good. Now, will say there's a caveat there. They had the Aragorn at the Vegas event and didn't show it. But then they did a similar event, I think in like Singapore or Taiwan or something a few weeks after that, and they showed it. And the initial prototype we saw of Aragorn was slated. It was absolutely torn apart. But then they come up with the prototype images, and it is absolutely stunning.
I saw that.
So I'm wondering, is this not finished?
Yeah,
what are we going to see?
True. And they're going to get a lot of feedback from this as well.
I would think it's not, based on kind of what they've done. Because didn't they also come out with, like, didn't they have the prototype for the Batman, like the Pattinson Batman, where they ended up coming out and tweaking it and saying, like, these are what we changed? I could see that. Like, this is probably something. They seem to be more vocal, obviously, than Hot Toys. I could see them doing something like that where, you know, we listen, they've been about, you know, as far as like, I've listened to some of the interviews with John, and they've kind of been about like, we're really accepting feedback from collectors and, you know, taking those things into account, you know, more so than kind of like Hot Toys where they're the opposite of that. They don't really communicate in that way. So I could see like, I don't think this is done either.
I wonder if they're like just marketing gurus, and they're like, yeah, this isn't done, but we're going to put it out there. And then when everyone bums and blows about it, and, you know, there's no such thing as bad press, and just draws so much attention, then they hit you with the prototype images, and you're like, oh, wow, that thing looks like it has a pulse.
I think there's something to that, of saying like, okay, here's what it looks like. Here's a prototype, but we're really receptive to what you guys think about it, and we're willing to make some changes. I think that's what collectors want. I think it's a smart way to go about it. So I could see, I don't think this is finished. They're going to make some tweaks to this. Because I don't even think this isn't slated for this year. You know, I know they're talking about what the Batman's supposed to come later this year.
Pennywise
Gandalf Batman. So this is going to get tweaked 100%.
And especially with that hair, I don't feel like InART did like the hair right here. I feel like they could sculpt a lot better than that, honestly.
The shape of his head is the shape of his head is off.
Yeah,
it looks very wide around the mid section of his head. It's like a diamond shaped head.
Yeah, and do you agree too that Superman logo is a bit small, Shane?
Honestly, that is not the first thing I looked at. It was just the head sculpt, really.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at comparison images between this and the BVS suit, but I've heard a lot of people say, like, you know, that was something that they pointed out.
I think I was just to say, I think another thing indicating that this isn't close to being done is the portrait shot that they took here versus, like, why not just show the whole figure? There's no way that this thing is close to being done. You know, they could have shown a body shot.
6-scale bust.
But are we going to see it? Are we going to see it though on the 28th? It's saying the 28th.
I guess I didn't. Maybe this is just the teaser photo for them then showing the entire figure. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, never mind. That would make sense. So this is a tease of what you're going to see in person, and that makes sense.
That's why I can't wait.
A good way to build up the hype.
So and it's from BVS too. So yeah, this is going to be for a lot of BVS people.
You got one photo to go off of. That's another thing. We have one photo to go off of. It'll be interesting to see when they show this, because it's going to be in person. There's going to be a lot more that comes out, you know, what this looks like at that time.
I will say that I really am excited for their Joaquin Phoenix Joker. That's the one that I'm waiting for, and they said that's a limited one. So
they're talking about that being a really limited, like, high-end one, and I think John might have said that potentially could be a 2-pack, but didn't go into detail. And like, there's going to be a diorama that, like, I don't know if they're going to do like the stairs where he's like dancing on the stairs or like something to that effect, but there's going to be some type of diorama piece that comes with it.
That's what needs to happen.
If they did a Joaquin Phoenix with a dancing on the stairs piece, like, oof, man, that'd be so cool.
I would
cool.
even though I bought like a stair diorama for mine. I mean, still,
I just want the Heath Ledger Joker, but that movie was so. I really enjoyed that movie too. That movie's like one of those movies you think about like a few days after. Like, dang, it's like some of the aspects of the movie. But
I watched it like
in society and stuff like that. I was like really thinking about that. But man, that would be. I'm interested as well, Joey, to see what they do with that one.
So I did put a poll in InART Superman. Is it good? And a yes or a no. And we actually, dang, y'all are surprising me in the chat today. So we got yes at 64%, and then no at 36%. So I guess we'll see the full thing later on this week. I believe Friday. I guess we're going to be seeing it. Also, we have Summer Showcase going on that day as well. So it's crazy that they're both announcing stuff that's big that same day. But we're going to go on to the last thing that we're going to talk about, guys. And this is going to be something that we just woke up to this morning, actually. I exited out of the page, but from Hot Toys, the long-awaited thing, I accidentally got out of it, but let's see. Here it is. Blow it up, put it over here for you guys. I think the reason why it's not like letting me share fast because I'm not sharing the whole thing. But here we go. So this is going to be the season 3 Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian, of course, guys. And I love the way they tease this too, because you're seeing a lot kind of, but you're not seeing a lot at the same time. You're not seeing his front chest. You're not seeing the full helmet. You're not seeing any of that, but we do at least get one accessory for this, and that's going to be his staff, I guess you could say. But if this comes out looking good, it looks perfect, and it comes with the head sculpt, maybe an updated head sculpt, because the other head sculpt that came with it, I didn't really like too much, probably because I'm more used to seeing Gus from Breaking Bad, so I'm very particular on. I know the actor's name is crazy. If y'all know it, y'all know it.
Carlo Esposito.
Yeah, you got it. I usually just call him Gus, but that head sculpt to me, I'm very picky with. So hopefully they do update it. If not, that's fine too. But I'm gonna go with Shane. Are you? If it comes out perfect, are you copying or dropping this one?
Just on that, about a month ago, I was in Dublin. I walked into a coffee shop and it's very, very quiet. And this man was he just bought coffee, and he was at the station putting like a lid and sugar in his coffee he just bought. And I thought for a minute, and I walked up to him and said, "Excuse me, are you Giancarlo Esposito?" And he said, "Yes."
Oh, wow.
And I said, I'm just a big fan of your work. And he goes, "Thanks very much." And I walked away.
So, really?
That is an awesome story.
Yeah.
That is. It's
yeah. Like, he did pause when I said "excuse me," as if he was ignoring me, and I was like, "Oh God, this is awkward." And then he went, "Yes." Another
oh my God.
But yeah, Breaking Bad's my favorite TV show.
Yeah.
But like you, Joey, I didn't think much of that head sculpt, and I don't think it's because we are Breaking Bad fans. I just don't think the head sculpt is a particularly amazing head sculpt. So I would have really liked, if that was a good head sculpt, I would have got that, and I wouldn't even be looking at this, because season 3 for me really fell flat. I thought maybe as I was watching season 3, I was like, the standard's pretty bad. Maybe was it always like this? And I went back and I watched season 1, 2, and I even watched episode 5 and 6 of Book of Boba Fett. And I realized, no, the standard was so much higher, in my opinion, for season 1 or 2, whereas season 3 really fell flat. And it's a pity, because this outfit does look pretty cool, but and I would like a villain for the Mandalorian, because the closest I have is Cad Bane on the way, and that's Boba Fett. But yeah, I don't know. If the head sculpt is mind blowing, maybe it might be enough to sway me. But
yeah,
I'm not sure would it sit right with me that I did not particularly care for that particular season. And also, even though he looks cool, I wasn't blown away by what he did in this outfit either, you know.
Would you take this one over the
other
one? Would you take this one over the other Moff Gideon?
I'll tell you what I'd take: the old Moff Gideon with a better head sculpt. You know what I mean? So who knows, maybe they but I'm not sure even that will be accurate. I think the facial hair is different between seasons.
But yeah,
I'm leaning towards a no on this one because I'm not sure if I'll be able to, realize, okay, you're buying a figure from a particular season that you really didn't like,
Yeah,
probably. I'll have a look and see how it turns out, but it's probably a pass or
and of course we're gonna change on our cop and drops. It always changes, but like at this moment, like I see what you mean. Because for me, I think I might cop this just because it just looks really cool, and I know the show didn't do too good, but honestly, that was mainly the main thing that I really liked about the show is this costume itself is how good it looked, and I probably won't get anything really else from the show, so it'd probably just be this, because everything. Maybe I'll get the IG-12 maybe because of the accessories, but if this one came out,
and I like the way you could hear the kind of you could hear kind of Iron Man type sounds, RoboCop type of, wasn't there?
Yeah,
was that my imagination? You could hear him like
when he moved, that was cool, and it makes him make more sense. He's like an old man. How are you going to be punching that hard? It makes more sense on how he's punching so hard.
Yeah, it's not as if he's a Sith, like,
but we got Steve. What is this, a cop or drop for you if this thing comes out?
Yeah, so I don't have the first like Giancarlo, or I should say Moff Gideon skull, but I like Shane. I was kind of with you on like we were talking about this on Joey's. Actually, we were talking about this on one of my streams about whether or not like the first season one Moff Gideon was like an over under properly rated figure. And I also thought, like, for Giancarlo, that the head sculpt, there was something off about the season 1 Moff Gideon head sculpt for me. I think the majority of us were like, oh, it's a great, like, no, this is like pretty spot on. But I'm with you, and like, there's something about it. Like certain angles, it just doesn't look great to me. I don't have that figure. I know you can get him, relatively, cheap. Lower on the secondary market now. But I might pick that one up at some point. But this outfit is just like. Yeah, this is just so awesome for the outfit. It's almost like he wants to, he always is pulling from like, the different, I don't want to say like culture, but like, Mandalorian, like the aspects of the Mandalorian. This is almost like Darth Vader-esque of like having like an Imperial Mandalorian suit. Like the suit design is so awesome. The helmet looks so cool.
Yeah.
This is a tough one because him in this armor was a short moment in the show. So, and then if he truly, this is another thing, if he truly is, spoiler alert for Mando season 3, if you haven't seen it, turn this off for a second. But if he truly is like dies at the end, because now we know about also Moff Gideon had a bunch of clones. Like, is this true? Was that this truly Moff Gideon who died, or was it a clone version of him? Because that's another aspect of it. Was it truly him, or are we going to see the real Moff Gideon appear in the Ahsoka show and like talk to Thrawn or something? I feel like there's more to potentially be had there with Moff Gideon, so they bring him out.
Could you imagine? Sorry, Steve. Could you imagine some smart ass coming into your collection who knows his stuff? And like this is, it turns out that this guy was just a clone, and you've got him posed there looking all cool, with the hopefully an updated head sculpt with rolling eyes, holding that helmet, and it's like, oh, you got some random clone. Like,
yep. Yeah, you got a clone. Got a clone in your collection. Cool looking with a cool outfit.
Yeah.
So like, if this is the end of Moff Gideon, that's the downside of this is like he was in this for one little part of the show and then he's gone. If that's the case, like I can see why this would be hard to justify for people. This is gonna be a tough. Like, I don't have Moff Gideon. I'd like to get one. I'll probably pick this one up because I just really like the look of his outfit. I think the design is so cool. Like putting him next to some other, posing him up with some other figures would like if they come out with the Beskar Trooper, which I really, really hope they do. This would be posed up next to like a Beskar Trooper would just be, I think, really, really cool. I actually probably would want the Beskar Trooper more. I really like the look of that one, but. This is I will probably get this one. I don't know if I would get it day one, but this will probably be a cop for me at some point because I just really like the look of it. I like Moff Gideon as a character. It'll be interesting to see if that's truly the end of him, if we see more. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell what they're gonna. I don't even want to speculate. It's kind of hard to tell what they're gonna do with that. But this just looks. When I first saw this, I was like, wow, this just looks. His armor's so cool. Yeah, like you said, Shane. Like when he's walking, you can hear him like taking steps and stuff. I thought that was really cool. So Yeah, I'm leaning more towards cop at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, I will.
Of course, it's Star Wars.
At some point, I'll be getting this. I don't like to get every single Star Wars figure that comes out, and like especially not day one. There's a lot that I've just kind of still been sitting on because there's some other things I want first. But I will probably end up getting this at some point. But I don't know if I would get it right off the jump. We'll see.
Okay. So I did actually put a copper drop for this on here, and it actually came out 50-50 cops or drops. So it's a 50-50, guys. We have a few things before we wrap it up. Let's see. I saw one question. Mark Attack asked. Wait, it wasn't this question. He asked if this didn't come with the head sculpt, would you guys cop or drop it? So I'd still say I'd cop it, and it'd probably be a lot less. It'd probably be way less if it didn't come with the head sculpt.
Hopefully, it's less.
Yeah,
because I probably wouldn't be displaying this with a Giancarlo head on it. I would want the display with the helmet.
Yeah, and that's kind of a win-win too at the same time, because we wouldn't have a head sculpt or an updated one. If it does have an updated one, I would like that, but it would be less too.
I feel like they would, like maybe just reuse it and add a little bit of like facial hair or something to it. I don't know if they do a brand new one,
What about the red guards, Joey? Yeah, that would be cool if they came out with those as well. The
Praetorians.
Yeah,
you need 3 of them.
Yeah, it'd be hard to like.
That's a lot. Yeah. Let's see. There was some Architect's question.
Yeah, where do you stop? Where do you draw the line of what you're going to collect? And for again,
that's where
you saw him twice in the season. So you're dropping that kind of money on something you saw twice. It's really tough. To justify some of those types of figures.
Mike says, I was over Grogu and Moff at the end of the season 2. Okay, I see. But yeah, guys, I think that's kind of where I'm gonna end this at, with us saying copper drop or anything. But I did tell you guys that I would like to hear from y'all. What your predictions, because I know that we have Summer Showcase coming up, and I told y'all 3 predictions that y'all have for Summer Showcase, but I'm just going to say one. What is your what do you want to kind of see from this con, like the number one thing that you want to see? And chat also, you can talk about it. What would y'all like to see from Summer Showcase this week? And I'll start with Shane. Just let us know. What would you like to see?
Is this like wishful thinking?
Yeah, wishful. This is wishful thinking.
Give us whatever you think.
Like it could be anything
you want.
Okay, I'll answer a realistic one and an unrealistic one.
Okay.
The unrealistic one is give us a Terminator 2 diecast endoskeleton. That's not with a gun. That's not going to happen. Realistic version, just drop that Prey Predator. And,
big time. Yeah, that's what I would love to see is the Prey Predator. We didn't talk about that one on here, but that one is very, very on my radar.
I rewatched it the other day.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it too. Steve, what about you?
My realistic prediction would be we're going to get a Cal Kestis from Star Wars Jedi series, the game series.
Yeah.
They revealed that Scout Trooper Commander as their first Jedi Survivor in the like video game masterpiece line of Jedi Survivor stuff. They haven't shown anything else since the game came out this year. They really shouldn't wait any longer to reveal something from that game, because the hype from that game is eventually going to die down. So like, I'm really hoping they, Cameron Monaghan's like, they should be able to get hopefully a likeness for him. And like, I think a Cal Kestis figure for me is my realistic one. My unrealistic, I would say, give us another Star Wars vehicle that isn't a speeder.
Yeah, I know, right?
I want to see them do some type of Star Wars vehicle that isn't a creature, isn't a speeder, something within that isn't like too massive, that's unrealistic for them to produce. Like, the N1 obviously is huge, but give us potentially something that isn't a speeder, maybe similar to like Batmobile style. And
what about the scooters from Book of Boba Fett?
the Moss Vespas. The Moss Vespas. No, but I would like maybe like I don't even know what it would potentially be, but like what about like a Luke's land speeder? Like that would be something that'd be really, really cool. You put Luke, Farm Boy Luke, Obi-Wan in with it. Yeah. You put sand troopers around it. Like give me something maybe potentially like that.
Yeah.
But I think like a vehicle like that would be something that would be cool. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. I guess I'll do a realistic and unrealistic. So I guess I'll start with my unrealistic. I would really like to see a Tim Curry Pennywise. I would love to see that. And I know that we have that would be cool to have both the Pennywises together, the OG and the new one. But imagine the rooted hair on that one. That would be insane. But I would see InART doing that more than I would see Hot Toys. And the realistic one, honestly, this one still isn't realistic, but we've seen it before, is the Batmobile from the Batman. I would love to see that actually come out, but at this point, I don't know. But we did see it recently, though, so it's a possibility. But that is my prediction. Let's go through y'all's prediction, a few of y'all's, and then we'll wrap the show up. So we have, let's see, start right here. We have Gar Saxon would be a dopo. We have Tyria saying the T800 Arnie. The endoskeleton is my wish. Yes. You got Tyria saying the Jungle Hunter Preds. Yes, I love the Jungle Hunter ones. Shane saying my man, the Tyria. Mike saying I want to see something from Ahsoka show. Yeah,
that's a realistic possibility.
That is
coming out August in a month.
Yep. Cage is saying Grief Karga with the drip droids. yeah, the ones that are holding his cape.
Cool. That's good. That's good.
Mark saying Savage Opress. That would be really good.
That would be so awesome.
Return of the Jedi figures.
R2D2.
Yeah. Return of the Jedi I feel like is a realistic one too. Like they only gave us a couple figures from there. Like they gotta drop some more from that.
Let's see. More Clone Wars 20th. Prey 2. Bespin Han Solo. We got Cal Kestis. Brian saying hello, gentlemen.
What's up, Brian?
Brian.
Let's see. Star Wars vehicles. He'd love to see the TPM Anakin with Pod Racer. That would be cool as well. The Tauntaun. Yeah. Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Thrawn would be a really good one to start off with. And having it on Summer Showcase would be cool as well. But yeah, guys, that ended the show. Thank you guys so much for coming. I know it was a longer one. I usually try to stay under 2 hours, but we had a lot of stuff to talk about today. But let's talk about what y'all have coming up on the channels. We're gonna start off with you, Steve. I'm not gonna solo y'all out. I usually do, but I don't think y'all like getting soloed out too much. But I'm gonna put your stuff down here where they can follow you. Also, his channel is in the link in the description if you want to give him a subscribe and follow on Instagram. But just let us know what you got going on.
Yeah, so Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, I'm interviewing D-Lo for the Collector Tour series that I've been doing, episode 4, rounding out the Wolfpack basically. Because so far it's been Austin, Graham from Jedi Knights Watch, and then Brick Artemis, who's also part of Wolfpack Wednesdays. So I'm rounding that out with D-Lo. If you haven't already, go check those out. Shane, I appreciate you. I know you tuned in. You had mentioned I was watching one of your streams while I was at work, sneakily watching it. You had mentioned you caught that series, so I do appreciate that. That one's been a really fun one. Just talking to other collectors, getting their insight into the hobby. That's just been really fun talking to other people. So Shane, if you ever want to come onto the show, bro, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to have you on. But that's really what my main live stream focus is. I did do a live stream last week called Sneak Peek, where we talked about kind of the upcoming announcements and reveals. That's probably something I might transition into a long form content, like I just recorded, that I might talk about myself, because there was so much to talk about. I wanted to do a live, kind of impromptu live, but yeah, I'm probably going to transition that into a reaction type long form content. But yeah, so that's what I'm focusing on right now.
Yeah, and you and Shane kind of do the interviews with everybody, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
y'all ask different
really
Vision. Y'all ask different questions, which I like a lot. That's what you go to Shane and then hear one thing, and then you go over here and you hear another aspect on yours, Steve. And I really do like that. Yeah, nice. And also there's some that Shane does that you probably haven't done, and then there's some that you have done that Shane hasn't done. I think that's just amazing.
I think there's so much to be learned, so many valuable things you can learn from other collectors.
And I think that I really I love Q&As. I don't know why, I just do. I just sit there and listen. Yeah,
makes you think about your own answers.
Yeah. But Shane, I know you have some stuff going on. What do you got going on coming up? Put your
thanks,
Shane. Yeah, Shane's links in the description as well, and I'll have your stuff floating down here.
Cool. Thanks for inviting me on. It's good to see Steve, and obviously good to stream in Austin again. So tomorrow, not sure what episode of Visions we're on, but I got just going to speak with Feezy Figures tomorrow. Jay, I think his name is, and then Monday I think it's episode 10 of the Hope Show. So that's on every Monday night at 3 p.m. Eastern time or midday West Coast or 8 p.m. my time.
Yeah.
In terms of content, there's a bunch of shorts on my channel at the moment. I've had a lot of things come in over the last few weeks. So I've got the quarter scale Batman, Arthur, and Thomas Shelby from Big Chief Studios, Besman, Luke, Ahsoka. Got a bunch of CCFLs and a bunch of fusions. So I'm spending a lot of time kind of reconfiguring my display and adding fusion reactors to the likes of the Terminator DX13i or the Mark 6 or Mark 1 War Machine, CCFLs for Ahsoka, Besman, Luke, that light up base, Mando, Luke. So there's a lot of, if you want to see what any of those looks like, there's a bunch of different shorts on the channel. So I'm going to have to review Besman Luke, and Cad Bane should be on Monday. There'll be a review on that. I think I'm going to do a review on the quarter scale Dark Knight and also Arthur and Thomas Shelby. So I think over the next week it'll be a kind of review heavy. So yeah, that's
sounds like a busy week.
I always get your shorts recommended to me. I love them. They're really good.
Cool. I appreciate that. It's just so handy because you can just, the new thing that you're really hyped about, you don't have to record a review for an hour and edit it for another half an hour. You can just like, cool, here, look, this looks good, pop it up like so.
That's my channel is just basically shorts too, and that's why I don't have like much watch time at all. It sucks. I have only like 2K watch time, but it's because they don't count those shorts as watch time. And one of my shorts blew up. The Venom one blew up really good. That one got like 300,000 views. That's kind of where I got all my subs from. But I wish they just counted the watch hours, even though it's a little bit. I mean, it's still with that much time. With that much
subs? You broke 1,000, yeah?
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm at 2.77, but that's where that one that Venom one got me a lot of subs. Like it got me a lot because it got 300,000 views.
Oh right, wow! It was just a short, yeah.
Yeah, it was a short, so it's good on subscribers. The shorts are good with subscribers.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I can't I can't put I'm not partner or whatever that is. I haven't done that yet.
You're not monetized yet.
Yeah, I'm not monetized yet.
Yeah, no. And you're at 2.7 thousand subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, your live streams will gain traction as well.
Yeah, I barely started the live stream, so.
Or what you could do as well is once a week, do a long form video for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
Where you just do a news roundup, and people like, that sometimes bite size. If I'm watching a review that's 5 to 10 minutes, I like to sit down and watch it. But if it's someone talking about the news or a stream, I can put that on my car, I can put that on the gym. So if you did something that was like half an hour to 45 minutes, if you I know 6 scale news or some sort of version of it, your own coin on it, that'll be a way of getting the hours up as well.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I like that. Thank you
for
the advice.
When you're cleaning the house and stuff, I usually will turn on streams. And
Me too.
You don't necessarily have to look at the video, but you can listen to what people are saying. That's obviously still valuable. So that long form content.
Sometimes I'm not even listening, but I just have it on.
Company.
I know, right? But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, chat. Y'all were awesome with the polls. Y'all did so good. But anyways, guys, it's been Collector Joey and friends. I will see y'all on the next one Thursday stream. So see y'all later. Peace.